Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, the John Campea Show, coming from right here on my YouTube channel. I am, of course, your host, John Campea, and it is an awesome honor and privilege, as it is every day, to have you, our international friends, gather around as we talk about our favorite things in the world, movies, movie news, TV, streaming, and Super Bowl, and all sorts of good things. And we are so glad you're joining us today. And we are, of course, joined by the one, the only writer, director, producer, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. Robert, how you doing today, sir?
John, I got to tell you, I'm fired up. People have been asking me all yesterday, Rob, are you going to comment on this stuff? I'm like, wait for the John Campea Show.
and here we are. Also over from him, she is, you've seen her on here. You've heard her voice in many of your favorite animations. She is a voice coach. She is Chris Carr. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I had such a great weekend eating nachos and watching people play sports. I didn't know what was going on, but it was fun.
But the commercials, there were tons and tons of commercials. And sitting right beside her, he had his team make the Super Bowl this year, like for the first time in forever. He is one, Mr. Ray Orr, joining you guys in the live chat here today. Ray, how you doing?
What's up? You know, for a second there, I think people thought I wasn't here today because of the loss. But you know what? I got messages yesterday on Instagram and Facebook. Haven't replied to any of them. Some of them will probably be saying, I'm sorry, your team lost, or, oh, haha, your team lost. No matter whatever the case, I'm proud of my boys. I'm still wearing a Bengals shirt. You know, it just wasn't our day. I mean,
it was almost your day. Oh, my God,
yeah.
You guys came close.
Put it this way. When I became a Bengals fan, yeah, I picked the helmet in 88, but I didn't start watching football until 2009 when we started playing Madden. And my friend was kicking my ass. And I said, I can't just keep throwing long bombs. I got to learn this game. So I started watching the Bengals. And for a second, I was like, did I pick the right team? Because I started realizing the pain. But I rode with it. And the most I wanted was to win a playoff game. And they live my life through. And they did more than that. And to see, right when the Super Bowl started, to see the Bengals logo, shiny, 3D. You know how they make that good presentation of your team. Seeing the Bengals flags up, I just started crying. And that wasn't even winning. It was just, I can't believe this is happening. We went to the mall before the season started. There's 2 Lids hat stores. I walked in. I said, do you have any Bengals hats? No, we don't carry Bengals hats. So
they will now.
This whole last week, going to NFL Shop, Fanatics online, seeing the Bengals gear right in the front center is just still a dream to me. So it's going to be a fun next couple of years. We got our team ready. It's time to add some pieces. Hopefully we get back to the Super Bowl. But congratulations to the LA Rams.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, you're going to see the Bengals winning a lot of games over the next few years. They're just going to get better. Once they get anything that looks like an offensive line, and Burrow isn't getting records set. But listen, we got a lot of stuff we need to talk about here today. So we need to move on to things here. And guys, it is great to have you here. And here's how today's show is going to go. We break it up into 2 parts. In the first half of the show, we talk about some predetermined topics. In the second half of the show, we take your live comments and questions. However, we have already had to turn off the super chats. I set a certain limit of how many super chats we can have set in, or else the show is going to be 4 hours long. And we literally hit the limit of the number of, you guys had a lot you want to talk about today. So we hit the super chat limit while Ray was just talking about the Bengals. So, but that's how normally you'll get in a question. By the way, if you want to send in a comment or question to be read on our mailbag show, because Rob and I, or Rob, or just I, or both of us, we do a show a few times a week called Mailbag. So if you're not watching this show live, you can send in a comment or question that we can address on that show. If you want to send in a question for Mailbag, simply go down and click on the tip link that's down in the description of this video, or you can enter it in manually, not that one, but this one, at www.streamelements.com/movieblogtv/tip. You'll be getting your comment or question read on Mailbag if we deem your comment or question appropriate to be used on our show. And of course, you'll be supporting our channel at the same time. And all of us involved with the John Campea Show, thank you guys very, very much for your support. Okay, guys. One other thing, a little bit of housekeeping. I want to remind you, if you need your daily fix of the John Campea Show, but you can't always be in front of a YouTube video, maybe you're jogging or you're commuting or you're at work, good news, there's the audio-only version of the show called the John Campea Show Podcast, and it is available on your favorite podcasting app of choice. Just go and subscribe to it today, so it'll be there when you need it. All right. Now with that down, let's get into a couple of off the tops here, shall we? And our first off the top is this. you guys know, I've said it several times, that my number one favorite day of the year, the day I look forward to more than anything else other than Christmas, Christmas is my number one, is Oscars. Oscars is my favorite day of the year. I'm a huge movie guy, have been my whole life. So the culmination of the movie year, the big celebration of the year in movies, that's my number one thing. Now, that's not to say that they don't sometimes do things that really make me scratch my head. Of course they do. That doesn't stop me from being a big fan of theirs, but I acknowledge when they do some dumb things. Remember a little while ago when the clown show that is known as the current executive board of the Oscars and the Academy of Motion Arts and Sciences decided, let's have a most popular category. It's like, oh, no, this has to be a joke. This has to be a fake trailer to a comedy in front of Tropic Thunder 2. This can't be real. They cannot be that stupid, but they were that stupid. Fortunately, though, there was enough backlash that they pulled back on that. Then there was a lot of questions going into this year's Oscars about whether or not Spider-Man No Way Home could get an Academy Award nomination. And they did for effects, but whether they could get one of the 10 nominee spots for Best Picture. I actually thought it would sneak into that number 10 spot. I wouldn't have put it on there myself, but I thought it would sneak in the number 10 spot. They didn't. Well, that has left the Academy wondering, man, we got to have some more Spider-Man representation at the Oscars. So the brain trust over at the Academy has come up with something new. And it is this. They have an Oscar fan favorite movie. This is now up. This is from the official Oscar website. And it says this. Movie lovers unite. Movie lovers unite. Make your voice heard this Oscar season by voting in this year's fan favorite for a chance to win a trip to the 95th Oscars, blah, 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 blah. Tune into the Oscars, the 94th Oscars, on March 27th to see which film wins. So they're going to be having a fan favorite vote, and they will announce who won fan favorite. This is obviously completely designed so they can make a Spider-Man No Way Home announcement. They already know which movie. All you have to do is look at the box office. Well, what's the number one movie at the box office everyone to go see? That one? Okay, so everybody's going to say that one. Great. It's going to be Spider-Man. Let's pretend like we're having a legitimate vote when we all know what's going to win. You know, because like Eddie and Jimmy, who've only gone to see 2 movies in the last 2 years, one of them was Spider-Man No Way Home, so they're going to vote for Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I will tell you this, though. This does not upset me. Do I think this is a good idea? Not really. But is it actively a bad idea? And while I think there are some drawbacks to the idea, at least one that I know you're going to touch on, Rob, while I think there are drawbacks to this idea, I'm not completely turned off by it. First reason why I'm not completely turned off by it, because it doesn't look like this is an actual Oscar category. They're not making this an Oscar category. They're doing an online Twitter poll, basically. It's not literally a Twitter poll, but it's basically an online Twitter poll. And they're going to announce what the results of the poll were. If this was the thing, this is an Oscar category, and they hand out a statue, it would be ridiculous. The other thing about this, why I don't think this is so bad, if you go and click on the vote button, they're not giving you a list of possibilities. Like, there's no nominees for this. Just any fan can come, and in this box right here, you just fill in, movie trailers. Let me just back this up here. Movie trailers, love story. The John Campea documentary. There, I'm voting for that. And then you put in your name. Anybody can go in there and write in. You can go in there and write Tropic Thunder. I should organize an Oscar troll campaign right now. Everyone, go and vote Thunder Force. Go and vote Thunder Force.
Come on, man. Tango Shalom, yo.
Yeah.
But that would be serious. I'm talking, let's troll the Oscars. Because movie trailers, a love story, and Tango Shalom ain't going to win. But we can organize together and get Thunder Force announced.
You know what I'm putting in? I'm putting in Bengals versus Chiefs AFC Championship. That was my favorite movie.
That's the number one time in the theaters this year. I mean, again, because there's no trophy given out and they're just going to announce it. And let's face it, this is just a way to try to get Eddie and Phil, who have seen 3 movies in the last 24 months, to tune in and watch the Oscars to see Spider-Man No Way Home announced. So it's basically harmless. So I'm okay with it, even though I wouldn't do it myself. But Rob, I know you had a reaction to this. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, look, the Oscars, I think the Oscars always had an air of legitimacy to it because it's people that work within the film industry that are voting. The various members of the various guilds, like the editors vote for the editors, the directors vote for the directors, all the members get to vote for Best Picture. So there is at least this idea that the people voting for the Oscars work on films and they know of what they speak. So if they think something is good, there's an air of legitimacy to that opinion. Now, I understand the Oscars are becoming less and less relevant as the years go by because entertainment choices have changed with the new generations, which is fine, which is good. So I get why they're doing this. But I think in a way, it kind of diminishes the prestige of what the Oscars are. Like, I get, hey, let's have a fan category, not like any other award show doesn't have a fan category.
MTV.
I mean,
People's
everybody's
Choice.
got a fan category. And the thing to me, the Oscars are something that you're hearing from professionals. And look, I'm an iconoclast, I get it. I would like to see the purity of the Oscars remain. But you know what? If they didn't vote on Spider-Man No Way Home, they want to find a way to honor it. And if more people tune in, I think that's great for the Oscar ceremony. I just think that there's something it lessens the whole idea of it all, I think, just a bit.
Chris, I'm curious. Like, you hear about this. Like I said, I don't like this.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, I don't really I don't see anything particularly offensive about
No.
it. I don't know. What is your take on when you heard about this?
I mean, when you told me this morning, I went, because it is kind of a, well, for why? For why are we doing this?
Well, for why?
Well, for why? And I'll tell you for why.
That's going to be my new thing. Well, for
It's
why?
very Welsh. I'll tell you for why. It just does seem like it's a viewer grab because it feels so redundant. Because we have a People's Choice Awards. That's all this is people voting for stuff. So it does feel like it's just trying to make the Oscars relevant for those people who don't come in regularly. I mean, this is a great category for people like my dad, who doesn't really care about the Oscars, or my mom, who wants to watch the fashion and make sure everyone thanks their moms, and then, text me angrily about I think this person's speech was great, and if you don't talk to me like this, I'm going to be so mad at you. I mean, I do think we all should vote for Moonfall, though.
Yes, that's what
Moonfall,
Moonfall doesn't
Come on, Rob.
qualify.
Let's get on
Yeah,
that train
it's
one more time.
2022,
Gotta jump
dude.
in.
Yeah,
there.
it came out too late.
Oh,
Does not count.
man. Next year.
Next
Yeah,
year,
sure.
Moonfall.
Moonfall
Take
2.
it. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's the other thing too. Like, the funny thing though is that other than sporting events, the Oscars is the #1 viewed television event in the world. Still is. And a lot of people aren't even really big movie fans, tune in for different reasons. One is the fashion. I never understood that myself.
I love it.
But I mean, there are people literally and there are entire industries based on talking about the fashion that was worn at the Academy Awards. I'm not a fashionista. Obviously, I dress like a drunk hobo. So, I mean, that's fine. So I don't understand fashion at all. But I mean, a lot of people have these different things. So whatever. We'll see how it plays out.
John, I just want to know if the accountants at Price Waterhouse are going to be accepting.
Tabulating the votes.
But the votes have to come in from the planet Earth. It can't just be North American centric. I expect this fan vote to cover the entire planet.
Well,
So good luck,
it's
Price
an online
Waterhouse.
thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to have any geographical restrictions.
Well, that's good.
And when are they going to announce a
at
host?
the Oscar. Oh,
a host.
tomorrow.
Because you know what?
Okay.
I'm not really into Oscars, but I do watch the host I like. I'll watch it. You know what I mean?
Apparently, they're announcing tomorrow. That's what I
So-
heard. They're going to announce. I mean, they have to. The Oscars are a month away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm still thinking it's going to be Tom Holland and maybe Holland, Maguire, and Garfield.
I mean,
Holland Maguire.
There's the way to honor Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know,
Do that.
I mean, all three of those guys have a great legacy in Hollywood. They might be youngsters, Tobey Maguire being the oldest, but Tobey Maguire has a great filmography. Why shouldn't he host the Oscars?
yeah. Oh, and by the way, don't count out Kevin Hart. Don't count out Kevin Hart. I was talking to somebody about this last night online, and they mentioned it, and I'm saying, no, that'll never. But they raised the points like, you know what? This could be seen like a do-over, a redemption thing for both Kevin Hart and the Oscars, because of course he was supposed to host the Oscars, and then they pulled that and all that. I know. I'm just saying, I would give a 10% chance to Kevin Hart maybe doing it.
I'd love to see Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson co-host.
That would be fun. That would be a new version of Steve Martin and who did Steve Martin do it with? Alec Baldwin? Was
Yes.
Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin
Yeah,
co-host
it was,
the 1 year? But that could be funny. Kevin, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this thing that they're doing basically an online poll of what's the fan favorite movie this year, and they'll just announce who it was at the Oscars? I don't think it's a great idea, but I don't see anything particularly bad about it. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys. With that down, let's do another off the top here, and that is this. You know, considering that the movie industry, with the hundreds and hundreds of films they make every year, they also really love going for recognizable IP, which makes it kind of surprising that there hasn't been a Barbie movie. Now, I remember a number of years ago.
Though. Come on.
Does it though? Really? But I remember a couple of years ago. Why am I forgetting the comedian actress's name from Trainwreck?
Amy Schumer?
Amy Schumer had a Barbie movie in development. And I remember, I think this was still back in the AMC Movie Talk days, but I remember saying, you know what, this isn't a bad idea. The idea of taking the script of Barbie and flipping it on its head, and you have Amy Schumer doing it, I actually thought that could be fairly interesting. Anyway, nothing ever came of that, and it sort of quietly went away. But then we found out a couple of years ago that it's been revived, but now it's a Margot Robbie vehicle. And they rewrote it, and the director of, like, what was it? Birdcage, not Birdcage.
Lady Bird.
Lady
It's
Bird,
Greta
thank
Gerwig.
you. Lady Bird Academy, like Greta Gerwig, is that who it was? Is writing and directing it with Noah Baumbach is who's wrote it as well. It's like, really? So you got like Academy level talent?
And wasn't it Anne Hathaway before Margot Robbie? Wasn't it Amy Schumer, then Anne Hathaway, then Margot Robbie?
You know what? I think you're right. I
Yeah.
think it did hit that.
Because I remember making that graphic. So it's gone through a couple of
Ray
revisions.
remembers all the movie news in history because he was doing graphics for them, so he remembers everything that happened. But you're right. I think Anne Hathaway is in there. So now you got this Margot Robbie with literally Academy level talent writing it. Well, we knew Ryan Gosling was joining it, so that we found out already. But now, Shang-Chi is coming into the picture, as it has been announced that Simu Liu is joining the movie. Now, they're not saying about anything about what he's playing, and no, he's not going to be playing Asian Ken. Ken is apparently going to be played by Ryan Gosling, so we'll see how that goes. But apparently, he has joined up with it in the ever-growing career of Simu Liu. Now, of course, Simu Liu burst on the scene, good Canadian kid, in the amazing, one of the best things you can possibly watch on TV. It's called Kim's Convenience. If you haven't seen it, get on Netflix and search for it. That show will have you hooked in the first 5 minutes of the very first episode. Oh, God. What is it called? Gay Discount. That's right.
Yeah, the very first episode.
Gay Discount. The first 5 minutes of that show will have you hooked forever. Anyway, that's where he kind of got introduced. Then, of course, he got his big break to play Shang-Chi. And now it looks like it's not a one-hit wonder as he's moving on. So this comes to us from the folks over at Cineblend who write the following. Barbie is coming to live action, and the project gets more interesting every time we learn something new about it. For one, Margot Robbie will star as Barbie herself, along with producing under her company Lucky Chap Entertainment, which has seriously had a great track record between making I, Tonya, Birds of Prey, and Promising Young Woman. Birds of Prey. Anyway, and Promising Young Woman, Lady Bird, and Little Women's Greta Gerwig co-wrote and is directing the movie. Oh, and now Simu Liu is involved. Yes, the star of Marvel's big hit Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings is currently in negotiations to be in the Barbie movie alongside Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, and is it America or is it America?
America.
Okay, because I have a friend with that first name, and she pronounced it America. America Ferrera, the Hollywood Reporter. We don't know what role Simu Liu is being eyed for, but it's not Ken. Ryan Gosling will be having that pleasure. So Simu Liu's career is expanding. And listen, it wasn't just the martial arts that I thought were great in Shang-Chi. I thought he did a really good job, particularly the dynamic between him and Awkwafina. I thought that kind of really made the emotional part of the movie sing. I love their dynamic together. I think this is great. Let's see what else he can do. And so I'm excited for him. Anyway, Chris, you hear this? Simu Liu is joining Barbie. What do you think?
Oh, I love this. He's wonderful. And I totally agree. Kim's Convenience is one of the best things you can watch on television ever. It is so heartwarming. It is so pure. Watch it right now, guys. He's doing so much stuff. I love this. We also have him coming out in One True Loves, which is going to be a rom-com with him and Philippa Sue from Hamilton fame. I think we're going to see a lot more of him. He's alluded to being a song and dance man as well and wanting to do more of that in films. So I think he's just really laying out a lot of different options for himself right now, showing us everything he can do. He's not just the hot guy from Kim's Convenience. He's not just the guy who can do martial arts. He's a really, really strong actor. And this makes me very excited, especially because Barbie stuff honestly, y'all, I know you're going to think I'm being so cheesy, has been great lately. Those Barbie vlogs, they're wonderful. They're so good. They're voiced by America Young, who is a talented director, stunt coordinator, and voice actress. And they're great. We're seeing this like flawed Barbie. She's amazing. So I'm really excited for this film.
Rob, you had a chance to hear about this. What do you think? Does this make you any more interested in a Barbie project?
Well, when I was younger, my 12-inch G.I. Joes used to date my sister's Barbies.
I think we were all there.
You know,
all of us were
because
there.
they didn't make civilian vehicles or domiciles to live in for G.I. Joes. You always had like the mobile support vehicle or a helicopter, but Barbie had the townhouse, and the Bionic Woman figure had the blow-up dome house and the pink Corvette. So I'm a Barbie fan, have been my whole life. If I'm going to see a Barbie movie, why not have a pretty interesting cast of people? Margot Robbie, I'll watch anything she's in. Simu Liu, like you said, you turned me on to Kim's Convenience, and like you said, gay discount the first 5 minutes of the first episode. And I'm not a sitcom guy, John.
No, you're not.
I'm not a sitcom guy. I was in. I'm like, all right, I really enjoyed it, and all the cast of that show was great too.
Yeah.
So look, not gonna lie, Barbie is not the first movie that I'm gonna run out and see.
What?
Call me crazy. I mean, just from first of all, I feel maybe a little creepy, old as I am, but still, I will go out and see it.
And by the way, this is going to be one of the most obscenely attractive casts
Right?
ever. Like Margot Robbie, Simu Liu, Ryan Gosling. By the way, good Canadian connection in that thing. You had Canadians representing in this movie, so who knows? Anyway, guys,
Well, does that mean you're going to rent a theater out and have a John Campea Show fan event for Barbie?
as long as you come wearing Canadian colors, yep, I think I should. I'm
All
making
right,
it on
cool.
a
I'll
big
pin you down. I'm
Canadian
going to hold
event.
you to that, John.
We'll see about that. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Simu Liu joining the Barbie film. Do you like it? Do you not? Does this give you a little bit more interest in it? Maybe it's not for you at all. Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's do one more off the top, shall we? And that one more off the top is this. Now, you guys know that my most anticipated film of the year by a mile. Well, actually, it's not by a mile anymore. That damn Doctor Strange movie has made it that Doctor Strange trailer has made Doctor Strange 2 a real close second. But still, my number one most anticipated film of the year is The Dark Knight. I mean, that's the one I'm looking forward to. That's the one. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things we're looking forward to and everything, but that is the one that's definitely right up there. Now, one of the big questions that we've been addressing on the show has been, how well do we think The Dark Knight can actually do? You know, because it's a different beast than Spider-Man No Way Home is. It's one that is darker. It's grittier. There are going to be people that bring their kids to it, but not as many people that would bring their kids to it as Spider-Man No Way Home. Plus, unlike Spider-Man, which has been going from strength to strength to strength, and strong reception, Batman has been a little divisive lately with the results of Batman versus Superman, Justice League, things like that. People haven't been all as on board with Batman. There's a little bit of confusion about Batman since we have Ben Affleck is still going to be reprising the role. You got Michael Keaton is going to be doing it, stuff like that, you know, all that kind of stuff. So how big will it be? Not really sure. But one of the factors in that question of how big can it be has been China. Will it get played in China? Because a lot of films have not been playing in China. Well, it's official. It's playing in China. As Robert Pattinson and the main cast of Batman have come out, you can hear them talking here now. I'm going to mute them. But this is Robert Pattinson and the cast of the Batman coming out announcing that they're going to be playing in China. That they are indeed coming, and it ends great with Paul Dano not saying anything, just holding up the little question marks and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. So it is official. The Batman is going to be playing in China. Now, this isn't terribly unusual. The Batman has gotten some love in China. Now, I don't think Batman Begins played there. It might have. I know The Dark Knight didn't. At least I'm pretty sure it didn't. But The Dark Knight Rises did play there. Batman versus Superman played there. Justice League played there. So it getting that. Now, I'm seeing some people online saying that this guarantees it'll be $1 billion film. That the Batman getting played in China, which is the second largest movie market in the world, is going to guarantee that the Batman will be $1 billion film. And I do not share that optimistic appraisal of the situation, to quote Vader.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it can't hit $1 billion. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely not. I'm not saying that. But I'm not saying that it getting released in China necessarily represents the automatic. Because here's the thing. Let's jump into the Campea classroom just for a second. So The Dark Knight Rises, right? Very popular movie with a lot of people, did get a China release. It made $53 million in China. 53 million is not a number that you can add to your total that guarantees $1 billion box office. Well, that was The Dark Knight Rises. Well, we move forward to Batman versus Superman. And Batman versus Superman made 92 million. Again, a good number, but not a number that says, oh, well, automatically the Batman is going to get $1 billion at the box office. Then we fast forward to Justice League. Justice League did even better, but not by a ton. Justice League made $106 million in China. A good number. That's $100 million. That represents roughly 10% of what you need to get to a bit. But again, it's not a number that guarantees that. Because look, if these Batman movies were pulling in $285 million in China, well, then I'd go, well, yeah, I think that pretty much then makes it a certainty. But I don't think it's there yet. I don't think these kind of numbers. So while I think it is relevant that Batman is getting played in China and significant, I don't think that alone guarantees the $1 billion box office draw. And again, before people purposely misinterpret me, I am not saying that the Batman isn't going to make $1 billion. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying getting a China release is not the magic bullet. The China release is not that one final straw that's going to tip everything in the favor of the Batman getting there. Significant, yes. Fate altering, I don't think so. At least the track record and the history hasn't shown that so far through all the different Batman iterations that have played there. Anyway, Rob, you hear that the Batman is getting played in China. I know a lot of movies and fans have been wanting to see their favorite films getting open there. So now we're seeing a big comic book movie getting open there. The Batman has played decently in China before. Number one, what do you think about it getting a release there? And what do you think this ultimately means for its financial destiny?
Well, I mean, look, as we know, there are fans of the Batman and comic book films the world over. They delight the planet. So that one of the largest centers of human population on this globe of ours is China. It's nice to know that fans will be able to access this material and it'll not be sold on the streets in bootleg copies on every street corner. I mean, I'm sure it will be as well, but at least it's going to come out in theaters. And I think that's great. I think it's great that fans will be able to see it, and also it will add to the box office coffers of Warner Brothers for making the film. Do I think it's going to have a significant impact on the box office? It will have some, obviously. But this is a 3-hour movie. It is an untried Batman. It is an unknown quantity. Everything we've seen, John, you and I are deliriously excited for this movie. The 3-hour running time leads me to believe it's going to be epic, and I can't wait to see this movie. And I think overall, they seem to be playing. Warner Brothers is playing this one very, very well. Mm-hmm. And I expect big things to come from. I'm not even going to say his name. I'm not even going to say our favorite nickname anymore, but I'll just call him Battinson. I think the Battinson era is going to begin in a big way, and I'm looking forward to it, John.
Well, Chris, you hear about this. First of all, what do you think about the fact that Batman is getting... I mean, look, it's not unusual for big comic book movies to play in China.
Nope. It's
just that lately it's been more dry than anything else. This one is now getting played there like previous Batman films have. How big of an impact do you think this is going to have on how it does overall?
I think this is great because, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was back in 2019. There were a whole bunch of Batman issues with just some images in China being taken down. Lots of the future is young kind of imagery that did not go over well. And
I
things
can't
got
remember
banned.
that.
Chat, please correct me on that if I'm not recalling that correctly. When we get more people to see a movie, that's a win. You know, people should get to see movies. They should get to experience it as they're supposed to. So that's very, very exciting. Like you all, I am cautiously optimistic about the numbers on that side of things, just because we don't know how that's going to turn out. But what it all comes down to is more people get to see a movie as it's intended, not having to, bootleg it, stream it from a shady site, use their VPN. So that's always a really, really good thing.
All right, guys, the question.
Wait. Oh, hold on. Just 1 second. I hate to bring this because I'm going to forget and we're going to forget. But since we're talking about the Batman, there's a couple of viewers in there that want to know about the fan event. If you got that ready for
that's
us,
right, the fan event. I'll tell you
because
what,
it's going to get too close to the Batman, and we can't.
yeah. Tell you what, remind me again as we get closer to the end of the episode.
Okay.
Once we get to the end of the main topics, we'll announce how. Because for those of you who don't know, we are hosting a John Campea Show viewer event on the opening day of the Batman in Los Angeles, in Burbank, California, where you can come and watch the Batman with us. We will give you details on how you can score an invitation to that near the end of the episode. So make sure you stay tuned in for that.
Bribery.
Bribery will get you an invitation.
Bribery will get you everywhere.
Totally get you an invitation. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Like, how significant or insignificant do you think the box office results that they're going to gain in China will play? Do you think this movie's even going to play well in China? What do you guys think about it? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. Before we move into our main topics here today, we want to take a second to thank one of the sponsors of today's show. The good folks, it's one of my favorite things that I own right now, the good folks over at Peloton. Hey guys, we want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of today's video, Peloton. Now listen, in the never-ending quest to try to stay in shape, one of the keys is to vary up your workout and your exercises to make sure you avoid losing your motivation and keep from getting burnt out from doing the same thing over and over again. Peloton has you covered. I know for me, one of the keys was getting my Peloton tread and using the Peloton app to get my varied workouts in. And Peloton just keeps pushing you forward with new classes, new music, new ways to keep your workouts fun and motivating. One of the newer offerings that has me personally really excited is their boxing classes. Peloton is stepping into the ring with its newest discipline, and you don't even have to have any gloves. Discover a fast, furious, and fun workout with Peloton instructors in your corner. Even if you've never boxed before, these classes will have you working up a sweat while working on the fundamentals of form, footwork, and fun combos that will keep you on your toes. Peloton has a workout for every day and every kind of schedule. So guys, right now, visit onepeloton.com to learn more. That's onepeloton.com. And a big thank you to the folks over at Peloton for sponsoring the John Campea Show. Okay, guys, with that down, let's get into our main topics here today, shall we? And how do we select our main topics here in the John Campea Show? Well, it's really rather simple. You see, you guys come up with them. Whenever you come across a big topic, issue, or story that you guys feel we need to cover as a main topic here on the show, just go anytime 24/7 over to www.thejohncampeashow.com/contact. Once you guys get there, you're going to see a form. Fill it out with your topic or question. It's absolutely free. Hit submit, and then maybe, just maybe, you might see your submission featured as a main topic here on the John Campea Show. With that down, Chris, what is our first main topic today?
This comes from Alan Renshaw. I just heard the tragic news of the passing of Ivan Reitman. I love the original Ghostbusters and I loved his work. What are some of your favorite works of his and your thoughts on his passing?
Yeah, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And I was really saddened yesterday when I saw the news. I saw somebody write that into me on something and I thought it was a joke. And I went and checked it out, and it's true. Ivan Reitman, iconic filmmaker, passed away. You know, it's funny. Me and Aaron were at CinemaCon a few months ago, and Ivan Reitman was there. Came out on stage with his son, Jason Reitman, to talk about the new Ghostbusters film, and he looked great. He looked like energetic and whatever. And so when I heard this news, I was incredibly saddened to hear about it. I want to hear what everybody else has to say about the passing of Ivan Reitman, but I will say this. Obviously, he will probably go down most remembered for Ghostbusters. And rightfully so. I mean, that thing is an iconic, culture kind of defining sort of film. Everybody knows and loves the Ghostbusters. But whether you're talking about things like Stripes or being behind a film like Animal House or what have you, all big and iconic things. But when I think of Ivan Reitman, you guys have heard me talk about this one movie that is very special to me, that I just find so fun and so charming and so wonderful. And it's one that not a ton of people saw. But he did a movie with Sigourney Weaver and Kevin Kline called Dave.
I love this movie so much.
I love Dave. For those of you who don't know the
good.
basic principle of Dave, Kevin Kline plays a guy named Dave who just happens, coincidentally, look completely identical to the President of the United States. And when the President of the United States has a health issue, an embarrassing brought on by an embarrassing situation, and he's incapacitated. The government goes and gets this Dave guy to stand in for the president so people don't panic or anything like that, right? He even for a little while fools the first lady, played by Sigourney Weaver. And this guy fixes all the mistakes in the United States of America. Listen, is it kind of ridiculous? Yes. But that is a movie that has given me so much joy. And of course, when you look at Animal House, Stripes, all the other stuff that he's done, for sure. But that's a movie to me that I think about and it just makes me smile. And it just gave me an awful lot of joy. His son, Jason Reitman, has gone on to become one of my favorite directors in the world. Jason Reitman is just so incredibly talented, whether you're talking about, Juno, or you're talking about Thank You for Smoking, or, he's just up in the air. Jason, his son turned out to be a world-class director in and of himself. I met Jason Reitman when he and I ended up sitting beside each other at a mutual friend's wedding. It was my first time I got to meet him. But anyway, Ivan Reitman passes away at the age of 75. Very, very sad to hear. I think he still had a lot of great years. The dude was only 75. That, by today's standards, that's still fairly young. He still had many good years in him to still deliver more films to us on different levels as a producer and whatnot. And I think it's sad to hear. Anyway, Rob, I know you were a fan of Ivan Reitman. Your thoughts on the passing of Reitman, and what do you think of first when you think about his career?
Well, I have to say, I go all the way back to Meatballs, and you brought up Stripes.
Oh, Meatballs, yes.
And are you ready for the summer? I loved Meatballs, but I think my favorite Ivan Reitman movie, I think Dave is great, but I love Stripes. Those early.
That's the fact check.
It's lighten up, Francis. You have War Notes, but it was the first time Bill Murray and Harold Ramis were on screen together, on screen together, and PJ Souls and Sean Young are in it as their love interests, and the ultra cool RV, the battle RV that they. But it's just there. What I loved about Stripes was, there was something about the situational humor. Sure, people think about Animal House. I'm a zit, get it? But there's a lot of smart humor in that movie. And there was a lot of smart humor in Stripes. And the situation that Ramis and Murray found themselves in, they were both kind of like these schlep rock dudes, but they weren't stupid. They were kind of like early versions of the Dude from Jeff Bridges, the Dude. They were like, Bill Murray was the Dude before Jeff Bridges was the Dude. and I love that. And they find themselves in the army. I watched Stripes 100 times. And I just loved Ivan Reitman's sense of humor. And then, of course, Ghostbusters was combine that with full-blown 65 millimeter Richard Edlund special effects. And even Ghostbusters has a situational type humor where it all comes out of character. And he was really good at that. Reitman was really good at that. Even when he made like a movie that I didn't love, like Legal Eagles with Deborah
I remember
Winger.
that, yes.
It wasn't great, but I still liked it. I was always entertained by Ivan Reitman's movies. And he's, in terms of the Canadian film industry in the 70s, he was responsible for getting a lot of other Canadian filmmakers launched. So he has a great legacy of work. And I don't think anyone's ever said a bad word about the man.
Anyway, Chris, you hear about him. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about the career and everything of Ivan Reitman?
Definitely Ghostbusters. I had a proton pack as a kid that I ran around with. I loved that movie so much. I still do the cats and dogs living together quote constantly. I think it's brilliant. But Dave is such a beautiful movie that I'm so excited you talked about, because it's so great. The relationship that Kevin Kline and Ving Rhames have in that movie is so sweet. I love it so much. That moment where he's like, Dave, I would have taken a bullet for you. Like, oh, what? In this goofy little comedy, there's so much love. But he was just such an incredible director, a brilliant producer too. He produced so much great stuff, and it was just so heartbreaking to see his son's statements too about everything, because he was saying how he lost his hero, and I feel like a lot of people feel the same way.
Anyway, guys, incredible, iconic filmmaker Ivan Reitman passes away at the age of 75. What do you guys think of when you think about his incredible career? What movies or moments that he's given you that have brought joy into your life are the ones that you think about today? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 2. Chris, what is our second main topic today?
This is from Xandersaurus. Hello, John. Hope you and Ann are having a lovely Valentine's Day. According to Screen Rant, a rumor has been reported that Disney is planning a new trilogy that'll be a post-sequel trilogy about the continuation of Rey Skywalker, and actress Daisy Ridley herself has signed a new contract for this project. I know John once said that he doesn't care about another trilogy, but what are your thoughts about this rumor? Do you think Grogu, aka Baby Yoda, might show up in this new trilogy?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in Xandersaurus. And this is a great example of how a small piece of information comes out and then broken telephone happens. And all of a sudden, that little piece of information slightly changes meaning on and on and on and on. Here's the basics of this. Somebody who was a writer and editor for Vanity Fair, as legit as it comes, a former reporter for Vanity Fair, who now works on other stuff, mentioned in a podcast that they had heard, and we'll read the direct quote in a second, but that they had heard that Star Wars is looking at a new trilogy that focuses on the remaking of the Jedi Order, something along those lines. Rey is never mentioned. There is nothing about Rey being in it, number one, although that's a reasonable assumption, but still, nothing about that. Certainly nothing about Daisy Ridley has signed on for a new trilogy. This is a great example of a little piece of information, and as it gets it spreads down, and a rolling snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger with information that was never actually a part of the initial story. Let's go over, this is what was actually said. This comes us from Screen Rant. Former Vanity Fair reporter Joanna Robinson revealed on the Ringerverse podcast that she's heard whispers that Lucasfilm is actively developing a new trilogy that tackles a revamped Jedi Order. That being said, the journalist also reminded fans that you can fill an entire stadium with ideas Lucasfilm has been interested in, but never actually realized. Okay, so let's go back to part one here. Track things back to the source. Joanna's a legit source. Somebody who's a reporter and writer for Vanity Fair. I think we've got a fairly solid source here. What she actually said was that they're looking at a new revamped Jedi Order trilogy. That is what we have. What was not said was that Daisy Ridley would be a part of it, and she was certainly not saying that she has signed on to blah, blah, blah. That's all stuff that got added further down the broken telephone line that has no legitimacy. That all being said, she was very right to then point out that Lucasfilm has had a lot of ideas that they didn't go forward with, as should be the case. You should come up with millions of ideas, but only very, very a few of them should be the ones that actually go through to the finish line. So there's all that. Now, I get it. If you're going to do a new trilogy and it's about the reformation of the Jedi Order, listen, I don't know how you do that without having Rey. I mean, she's the last remaining kind of Jedi. She's now the embodiment, according to that terrible movie, The Rise of Skywalker. And I am a Disney Star Wars era fan. I am. But The Rise of Skywalker I thought was terrible. Anyway, but according to that movie, she's now the manifestation and embodiment of all the Jedi that have come before her. She's the Avatar. She's the last Airbender, yo. She's the last Force bender. So if anybody's going to be reinvigorating the Jedi Order, it's her. Of course, they could say this is 100 years later, 150 years later. The Jedi Order is still in the early days. Remember, the Jedi have been around for millennia. They've been around for thousands of years. After 100 years, they're still in their infancy if they're reestablishing a new Jedi Order. So it very well could be a new Jedi Order idea, which I'm not going to lie, is an idea that excites me. And it could very well not have Daisy Ridley in it. Daisy Ridley, who I like very much, but I think we're ready to move past the Poe, Finn, and Rey era of Star Wars. So if that's the notion, I think that's great. I mean, I would love it. And do I think this is a possibility? Rob, I remember a while ago, you and I talked about the idea of, okay, what would a new Star Wars trilogy be? We've talked about this many, many, many times. And we floated the idea, well, it's would have to kind of focus on where the Jedi at now, right? And that's definitely one of the ideas. So I see that as a perfectly legitimate thing. I would just, number one, I wouldn't believe for a second that Daisy Ridley would be attached to it, because I think Star Wars knows they need to move on from that era. It had its fans, like me, at least for a couple of the films, but it also was as deep a division as the prequels ever were. They got to move, as they moved on from the prequels, only referencing the prequel stuff, they need to move on from the sequel trilogy. Yeah. Reference it, it's canon, but they need to move on from it. So if they do this, and it's about a reestablished Jedi Order, and it's set 75, 100, 200 years after the events of Rise of Skywalker, sign me up. Do I think this is actually happening? No, I don't. But if that's what they did with it, I'd be perfectly happy. Rob, you hear this? What do you think the idea about coming back to the episodic Star Wars and basing it on the reformation of the Jedi Order, strengths and weaknesses? What do you think?
Well, I think Star Wars movies, even the Disney sequel series, as much as I was not a fan of, especially how it wound up like you, it still made $1 billion. I mean, there's still money makers, and from a business standpoint, it's good business to make more Star Wars films. I just hope that a new Jedi Order and the reformation of the Jedi is something that's really interesting. They could make a really great film. I only hope that they spend a lot of time and really hone those scripts and come up with a truly great story that can span 3 movies, that is really well thought through, really well designed, and they really get filmmakers that know how to do this kind of thing. I like the idea, and I'm sure they're going to make another trilogy of movies. Hell, I wanted, after that Patty Jenkins announcement on the tarmac of a Air Force base when they announced Rogue Squadron or whatever, I'm like, I want to see that. But sadly, we're probably not going to. But still, I like Star Wars. I have since I was 10 years old. Bring it on, as long as it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, you have a chance to hear about this. Number one, what do you think about the notion of them doing something like this? Do you think it's something that could actually happen, and how would you feel about it?
Oh, it absolutely will happen. They'll definitely do another trilogy. I do want us to get away from the Skywalker dynasty, though. And that was one of the things we had talked about way back in the day about this film when we were talking about what we want from Rise of Skywalker, how I wanted it to be like a Batman Beyond situation. Can we create an Anakin? Does it have to be through blood? Is it through upbringing? Is it a combination of circumstance and all these other things? I wanted it to be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where anyone could wear the mask, and I want that with Jedi. Anyone has the potential to be a Jedi. It is just something that could happen to you. So I'm more interested in that aspect. I love Daisy. I think she's a brilliant actress. I don't have as many problems with Rey as some people do. And I understand that. I respect that. I think we can pepper her in there, but we can explore something else now. And 1000% would Grogu be in this. We have a character that can live hundreds of years that is beloved. Y'all would be bonkers to think that little dude's not showing up.
I don't think he's showing up.
What? You're bonkers.
I think he's going to die. Yeah.
You shut your mouth, Campea.
I think Grogu dies. I ain't saying in Mandalorian season 3.
No.
But I don't think or Baby Yoda goes bad and goes dark side.
I think you might be right about that, dude. I don't understand why people think that just because Grogu is from the same race as Yoda, that he's supposed to be some Jedi or even good. That doesn't make sense. That'd be like saying that every human being on the planet should become a samurai at some point.
I just feel like you all should stop talking about our son this way.
Now,
He's the internet son.
Now, again, to be fair, the only 2 other members of that species we've seen in Star Wars have both been Master Jedi.
Yes.
Right.
Yoda and Yaddle, right? So so now we got a third, and clearly he's Force adept. Mm-hmm. So, but I also think, I mean, maybe this is just me playing off the fan art a little bit too much, but the fan art, have you seen any of the fan art of evil Baby Yoda?
Oh, yeah.
I'm fine with him being evil. I
can
just
see
don't want him
going
to be
bad,
dead.
and then he dies.
No!
He goes evil and then dies.
No.
I mean, it's funny that I
And
think
you know who kills him? Luke kills him.
Oh, God.
No, think about this. Follow me here. This is Shakespearean. Luke, who was going to try to train little Baby Yoda, offered him a choice, and they departs. He leaves. Eventually, that choice is going to lead him down to a dark path. He becomes dark. And before the events of The Force Awakens, Luke has to confront what was going to be his pupil and defeats him, and Baby Yoda dies. Grogu dies.
Luke's a
I'm
real
writing the
brat.
script for you, Lucasfilm.
Fine, it's the end of the Jedi. It's the end of the Jedi then.
Why are all of Luke's students bad? Is he just that shit of a teacher? What's
Yeah.
happening?
But
That's only the second one. All you can do.
Luke forcing Grogu to make that choice early on in their relationship
Was
was
horseshit.
incredibly selfish. And I'm like, Luke,
don't like it.
You lost me, Luke.
Yeah.
There's a reason your Jedi temple burned
Yup.
at Solo.
Agreed.
I mean, who are you to this guy? Like, you're training me. I'm new to this.
Yeah.
And you're asking me to now make a choice and tell me I can't have any connections?
He's a
What about
Yup.
the connection you want me to have with you, Luke? You're asking me to have a connection with you,
Exactly.
but telling me, or you're saying that you're more important than than the Mandalorian, who's shown me a lot more. He's been there a lot longer than you have, bro.
Let him just be a little baby Mando, and he can be a bounty hunter, and it'll be amazing. And he can cut fools with the Darksaber, and I'll watch the shit out of that show.
I just want to say one more thing. Yup to Rob. Yup.
Yeah,
Yeah, but hold on a second. Remember, Luke is also the guy who knows that the one Jedi who embraced personal attachment led to the greatest genocide in the history of the galaxy. His own father was the one Jedi that embraced attachment to Padme, and that attachment led him to becoming Darth Vader.
Yup. You're right, too. This is going to be a problem for me.
How does Luke know that? Because Luke was told by this, he found all this out in Jedi, in the movie Jedi. He's known this for a couple of days, and then he battles his father and the Emperor and burns his father's body. How does he know that Vader had these attachments?
There's the HoloNet. He found out. He kept talking to Obi-Wan, whatever, but he found out. But again, that's the thing in Star Wars, is that ultimately, like, everybody talks about, and this is I think this is a very interesting point of conversation if you're a Star Wars fan. Everybody talks about, yeah, I mean, that the way the Jedi did it was so, but the one guy who broke the rule led to exactly what the Jedi always said it would lead to. And it led to the great, genocide across the universe, the destruction of entire planets and peoples, because that dude secretly went behind the Jedi Order's back, got married, got emotionally attached, and it led to decimation across the galaxy. And I think Luke knows that now. It's like, no, they got to hold on to this.
Well, he was also manipulated by Palpatine.
No doubt. But he was able to be manipulated because he had that attachment. It was he played on the Padme part. That was his in with Anakin.
I would say that Anakin's seeds of Anakin's destruction were early on.
I don't think you're wrong about that either.
Yeah.
Like his attachment to his mother, which led to the whole thing with the Sand People and the killing of the Sand People. His attachment to Padme, which led him to that. You're right. I mean, it was planted early, but it became an ongoing thing.
I mean, after he murdered Sand People, he was lost. I mean, it's like he killed Sand People, his mother, and that wasn't necessarily manipulation. That was something that came from his childhood.
Yeah.
He should never have been a Jedi.
And he did it in such pure disdain. He just walked in there. He didn't even try to sneak around. He just went in there.
Yeah, he wrecked shop. It's not like, come on, Mom, let's sneak you out of here.
Well, maybe it's time for Luke to go down, It's time.
I don't know.
Luke's run is over.
He did go down. We saw it in Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Went down victoriously, I'll say, even though I don't like he went down victorious. Anyway, that's a big thing. Question is for you guys. What do you think about the notion of a new trilogy of Star Wars films, but focusing on the reformation of the Jedi Order? Whether that happens immediately after the events of the Rise of Skywalker, or what I would prefer to see is takes place maybe 100, 150 years after it. Do you think Grogu could be a part of it? Do you think he's dead? I think he's dead, but we'll find out. I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.
Maybe he started the First Order.
Ooh.
Okay, I mean, that's fun.
What? Ooh. Okay, now we're getting a lot of different stuff. Okay, anyway, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 3, shall we? But before we get into our third topic, it's time for us to take another break here and listen to one of the sponsors of today's episode of the John Campea Show. And I love these guys, the delicious HelloFresh. Hey guys, we want to take a moment and thank a sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh. So guys, look, my wife Ann and I were both working professionals, so we know how tricky, difficult, and time-consuming it can be to try to eat properly and prepare your own meals at home. And that's why, like over a year ago, we started using HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. I mean, you skip the trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and probably most importantly, affordable. HelloFresh offers the flexibility you need to easily customize your orders online or right in the app. Easily change your delivery day, food preferences, and plan size, or skip a week whenever you need to. HelloFresh is 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal of the exact same quality, and you can save on average over $65 a month when you order HelloFresh instead of going grocery shopping. So guys, I'm telling you, whether you are single or have a family, you are going to love HelloFresh. So go to HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use the promo code Campea16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. That's again, HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use that promo code Campea16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. And a big thank you to the folks over at HelloFresh for sponsoring today's episode of the John Campea Show. And I'm not lying, Ann and I use it. It's delicious. We love it. Anyway, guys, with that down, let's now move on to main topic number 3. Chris, what is our third main topic today?
This is from Brenton P. Hey, John and team, big fan of the show.
Thank you.
Sunday at midnight, the official trailer dropped for Jordan Peele's upcoming horror film, Nope. And I was truly intrigued at the brief look we were able to see. It looks like his most cinematic venture yet. Where's your anticipation level at for Nope?
All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, Brenton. All right. I'll say this about Jordan Peele. I, like everybody else, was completely enamored with Get Out. Loved it. Loved it. It was different and weird. It played on some great traditional horror thriller tropes, but did them in completely unique ways and kind of a combination I'd not seen done before. And by the end of it, it is both a little bit of a mind F and kind of an exciting thing, like when you see people getting what's coming to them. Like it had a great combination of all that kind of stuff. So because of that excitement, I went into Us with big anticipation, not to mention, the future ex Mrs. Campea, Lupita Nyong'o. Like, I love Academy Award winner Lupita Nyong'o, she's an Academy Award winner. I actually think her performance in Us might be the best performance she's ever given. Like, I was floored of her performance, but I did not love the movie. It was a little too, the logic was far too disconnected in too many different places. Just the basic premise of what they're trying to get us to believe about this world within a world, it didn't make any logical sense whatsoever. No. And because of that complete lack of any logic, I wasn't able to emotionally connect to the movie at all. And by the time it ended, I was just glad it was over. I didn't hate the movie. Again, remarkable. Winston Duke as well. M'Baku.
He's incredible.
It was so good in that. And I've never loved the song as much as I did after seeing that movie. But I did not love it the way I loved Get Out. But then we heard he's doing this Nope. And I remember going like, what is it going to be about? We heard whispers about maybe something about aliens and stuff like that. Well, the trailer came out for Nope. And they played it during Super Bowl. And I'll tell you what, it starts off very traditional, right? Like a lot of different traditional horror movies will do. It establishes normalcy. Here's something in the normal world. This woman talking about, she's got a horse training Hollywood service, which is cool. Their background, just see them kind of out there on the range, living their life. Normalcy. We see that in a lot of type of horror thriller movies. But then the normalcy turns and all of a sudden something's freaking out, or there's a knock on the door, or there's whispers in the shadows or something like that. And in this case, everybody's looking up at the sky. And then all hell starts to break loose. And they show us all hell breaking loose without even really letting us know what it is it's doing. We see power going out, everybody looking up to the sky, sometimes dark shadows, creepy hands, creepy smiles, whatever. And it's just like, I don't even know what's going on, but this looks creepy as hell. Now, I had the same kind of feeling with Us. Those trailers really did it for me. So I'm not going to let myself, that van is a Fry's van. Oh, it makes me miss Fry's so much. That used to be like my favorite store, Fry's. Okay, anyway, sorry.
I thought you were actually talking about French fries.
French fries? No, Fry's.
Fries.
I miss Fry's so much. Anyway, it reminds me a lot of the trailers for Us, but regardless, this is a pretty damn good trailer. I like it a lot. And it totally got me, especially when that scene of her on the road is dark. Yeah, no. It's just like, that's exactly how I would react. And of course, those of you who don't know this, and maybe I shouldn't be talking about this. For those of you who may not know, Ray Ora kind of sensitive to the scary movie stuff. And I just remember the first time I think we were over at the Aura house and we were all sitting on the couch. I think it was night and lights are off, and I think a bunch of us were there, and there was some kind of scary movie on. And I just remember Ray getting up and walking out of the room. Nah, nope. No, no.
Same way.
Getting up and
I hate
walking
him.
out of the nope. Nah.
You can't force me to watch anything I don't want to see.
And then another time we were watching, I never forget this. Another time we were watching like something scary, like it was some kind of scary movie, and like Ray kind of either turned his head away from the screen, he's going, "It's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine, everything's fine." And just saying it out loud. It was a lot of fun, but that's what this scene in the movie here kind of reminded me of. Is she's looking up at the sky, she goes, "Yeah, no,
I'm not doing that. Not today.
not today, not today," and going away. So I'll tell you what, I watched this trailer. I thought it was great. So again, I was super excited for us, and it didn't quite get there for me, but this trailer did the job, man. I mean, this has made me excited to see it. I'm hoping this is going to be more Get Out than it was Us, but I liked what I saw. Rob, you had a chance to check this out. What did you think about the trailer for Nope?
First of all, I love this trailer. I loved Get Out. I thought Get Out was great. I thought it was audacious. It had a really interesting political message. I thought it did what genre films are supposed to do in a grand way, and Daniel Kaluuya was great in it. Catherine Keener was amazing. I loved it. Us really bothered me. Us pissed me off because I love the performance. I love where it was going. It takes a twist toward the end, and I was like, this is completely out of left field and nonsensical. And I was so disappointed in Us because I was really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. And the thing is, it's beautifully made, it's beautifully performed, it's beautifully shot. And I just felt what I want out of my genre movies is the ability to suspend disbelief. And the film has a twist in it where I'm like, I don't buy it. I don't buy this at all, which is fine. That can happen. Now this, John, I was so excited for this trailer. And I have to tell you, in this trailer, the moment where the record starts slowing down and stopping,
Yeah.
and then it cuts out to the outside of the house and you see the power going, doo, and they hold on the shot of the dark house. And then the credit comes down from Jordan Peele from the top of the frame.
Yeah.
All up. And I mean, it was just that. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. I'm so in on this. I'm so in. And by the end of that, the last shot, when the woman gets swept up and sucked up into the sky, I'm like, this has now gone to the top of my excitement list. But I just hope that it holds together. I think the potential could be there to have the same kind of disconnect that Us had. I hope it doesn't, because everything in this movie just made me, this entire trailer was like, this trailer did for me what a great kiss does when you first kiss a girl for the first time. It promises you greatness. It promises you delights that you can only imagine. And I'm hoping that Nope does not leave me at the end of the credits when I see this movie to just shake my head and go, nope.
Well, I mean, Ray, I want to ask you, because that hair came on and you were saying, yup, you were going, yup. You were just like,
Yeah.
what did you think about this trailer?
You know what? As confused as I was at first, when you said, "Oh," you told me, "I think it's about aliens or there's aliens something." I said, "Aliens?"
It's connected to Moonfall.
Or something. I'm like, okay, that's number 5 on the things I like seeing in movies. It's now my most anticipated movie. I know his movies, it ain't for some people, but watching his comedy skits on Comedy Central.
Well, Key and Peele's one of the great sketch
I really
comedy
like their
shows.
take on things.
Yeah.
So I would I'm really looking forward to his take on aliens, just because I want to see a different perspective of it. Maybe his
No, we don't know they're aliens.
Yeah. Or whatever it is.
By the way, we don't know that
Yeah.
they're aliens. Like that's just kind of what they seem to be.
Or
implying.
yeah, whatever. This super whatever.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. It's now my number 1 most anticipated movie after that trailer.
Ooh.
Really?
Because it
More
has to
than
do with
Batman.
something that you don't know. It's cool.
That's
no.
true.
Take away any of the superhero movies. I'm
Okay,
talking about
outside of
the
those.
general.
So more than the Northman, more than all that
Yes,
kind of stuff.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
I mean, listen, that's what this trailer kind of does. Chris, you saw it. Like, what do you think?
The trailer didn't make out with me like it did for Rob. But That's fine. That's fair. I think it looks really exciting. I subscribe to the horror school of thought that Ray Ora does as well, where I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch this. No. So I saw Get Out, loved it. Amazing film. Us, I made my husband go see first because I was worried there might be like eye gouging and things. As Aaron's scared of spiders, I'm scared of like eye violence. It makes me.
That's not funny.
I can't-
Laugh.
So out of curiosity, what did you think about that scene in Suicide Squad when Harley Quinn goes like burst
Oh
into
no, Logan had to be like, stop, look, don't look there. I can't watch people put in contacts. Like touching eyes freaks me out so much.
yeah.
It's so
I
disgusting
get
to
it.
me. Mine are huge. So much stuff gets in them. It's so dangerous. But so anyway, I didn't see Us, and then Logan told me it wasn't worth seeing anyway. So this does reinvigorate my like joy of Jordan Peele films. I am excited about it. I hope it's Aliens because it looks like a really well done Signs.
Right, yeah, that's a really
That's
good.
what they reminded me of that too.
Right?
Like a better
With that little
well-done
hand
scene,
coming
yeah.
out?
By the way, I,
mean, I
really
love
like
Signs.
Signs.
I like Signs.
I just didn't like the absolute ending of it. I didn't like the whole water thing at the end.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really
didn't
did like
like actually
Signs, too.
seeing the alien. Everything was great until I saw it, and I was like, okay, with his little fart finger. Like, what was that? That was ridiculous.
Fart finger.
But this cast, though, too, I love Keke Palmer, and I want her to be in more things, and I really hope this is something that just lets her shine. Steven Yeun doesn't even talk in this, and I was like, I love him. I love him so much.
And Daniel only had like one word.
Yeah. But him standing off with that
Great.
horse just looking like,
Yeah,
such
he looked
bullshit.
creepy in all. He looked creepy in all his shots for some reason to me. When
thought
she
it
was,
looked great,
when that lady was in front of the green screen,
Yeah.
and she said something to him,
He just
and he
annoyed.
didn't say one word,
Except
yeah.
for
And I was like,
great. And that's another great. I mean, that was a
No
cool
one
part.
has a better scared face than he does.
He
True.
In
does.
Get
Yeah,
Out,
yeah. Get
when
Out
he's
is
sitting in the
amazing.
chair crying, the camera's on his face. That's one of the best scared
good.
faces I've ever seen in a movie ever.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance to see this trailer for Nope? We all thought it was great. Again, I hope it's more Get Out and not as much like Us. How did you guys feel about it? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys. With that down, let's move into main topic number 4, shall we? And keeping on the themes of trailers that came out during Super Bowl, Chris, what is main topic number 4?
Topic number 4 comes with a heavy sigh from Rob. Vinesh R. I know most of us are buzzing about the Doctor Strange trailer, but I wanted to write to express how deeply excited I am for the Lord of the Rings show. The trailer was everything I wanted it to be. I felt like I was taken back to Middle Earth. Other than Galadriel and Elrond, I don't know who anyone was, but I really felt the magic of it. What did you think of it?
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, listen, as the Batman is my most anticipated movie of the year, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is by far my most anticipated television show. This thing I am so ridiculously excited about. They released those little images of the hands clasped, got excited. Then they released some of the still photos, got excited. And then they said, which to my surprise, that they were going to put out their first preview of it like 7 months before the show comes out. I still think that's a mistake.
Yeah.
There's no point in it, but still look forward to seeing it. I got to tell you, this trailer was everything I wanted it to be. Number one, because the show is still 7 months away, I was not expecting them to show us really anything. But just to give us a little flavor, what I was looking for was I wanted to see, with the budget that this show has, does it look cinematic to me or does it look like a TV show? All due respect to The Witcher. I love The Witcher, but it looks like a TV show. And that's fine, because it is a TV show. Nothing wrong, and I love that show. All due respect to Wheel of Time. But Wheel of Time looks like a show that's being done as a TV show. And that's fine. I enjoyed Wheel of Time. I didn't love Wheel of Time, but I liked it. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're spending the kind of money that they're going to spend on Lord of the Rings, it's got to feel like a movie to me. And now, granted, it was only 1 minute long, and we didn't get to hear any dialogue other than some voiceover stuff that was from one character who, what are the forerunners of the hobbits called again? The Harfoots?
Yeah.
Harfoot? So it was a Harfoot, the creatures that eventually evolve into becoming hobbits. So just other than that, we didn't hear any of the story. We don't know what's going on, anything like that. But I'll tell you what, for me, I saw exactly what I wanted to see. It looked cinematic to me. It looked beautiful. And especially when that, I don't know if it was a troll or whatever, that dark scene where the monster comes out of the shadows, and I looked at it, it's like, that did not look like a TV show CGI. That looked great to me. And so It was what I wanted it to be. I was not expecting the greatest trailer of all time. I was not expecting to hear the story. I was not expecting any of that because I knew the show's still 7 months away. Lots of times for that. But I wanted to see, does it feel like the most expensive TV show ever made? And to me, it did. And because of that, I was very happy. It still wasn't much, which is why it's not my favorite trailer of the Super Bowl or anything like that. Hell, it might be my third favorite trailer of the Super Bowl. That's fine. It gave me what I was looking for personally, and it upped my excitement for it. Somebody who's not as enthusiastic about it as me, apparently, is one Robert Meyer Burnett. So, Rob, you had a chance to see the trailer. What did you think about it?
Okay, now I should preface this by saying that for me, the thing that I'm most curious about in this show is this takes place in the Second Age.
Right at the dawn of the Second Age.
The dawn of the Second Age. So we saw the end of the Second Age at the beginning of Fellowship. The Second Age does not have Tolkien's voice. We have a lot of history and backstory of that era of Middle-earth, but we don't have the voice of his characters. And the voice of his characters are what make Tolkien's characters as rich as they are. So my biggest question about this show is not that it's going to take place in Middle-earth. I expected to get that from the trailer. And from that sense, it looks like it's part of the same world as Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, which is something I hoped for. So I got that from the trailer. What I really wanted was any sense that they had the voice of Middle-earth. I wanted to see some character saying something, some kind of interplay that sort of encapsulated what's going on. And we're going to get that. I understand we're 7 months out. But when Fellowship was first announced and they started the ad campaign for it, there was a beautiful poster that just had Elijah Wood as Frodo, and they did 2 different versions.
I remember these, yeah.
And it was all black, and it was just Frodo's face, and he had his hand up like this, and there was the Ring of Power in his hand. And there was one, it's the same poster, but there's one where he's looking down at it and one where he's looking up at it. And it encapsulated all of Lord of the Rings in one image. This, to me, was a generic Middle-earth spot. And that's fine. We're in Middle-earth. But I need to know, why is this different? And why I need to know that they know about the show that they're making. I get it's in Middle-earth, but I'm not convinced yet from this trailer, that they have done enough for me to understand that I have to care about their vision of the Second Age of Middle-earth. I am not yet convinced that they've got it.
Okay. I hear you. But to me, that's kind of like saying they're creating this new car, and it's coming out next year, and they show you the drawing of the car, and you saying to them, "But I need to know if the seat's comfortable." Well, we're not there yet. Like this is the thing that's still 7 months. Really, what this was just the wide announcement to the world: this is coming. And we're not letting you know what it is yet. We're not really telling you a lot. We're just letting you, the Super Bowl audience, know this thing is still 7 months away, but this is coming. And I just think, I don't know that it was realistic to expect any more from it, because I think once we get into the legitimate first trailer, like when they drop the legitimate first trailer, probably around June, I'm guessing. If they don't deliver in that spot the things you're talking about right now, I'm going to be right there with you.
Yes, but see, this is not new. They're talking about a new legend. I'm like, this isn't new. Tolkien's work, I read the Silmarillion. I got it for my birthday the year it came out. And I tore through that book because mostly it's an academic history in a way of the early ages of Middle-earth. And I loved it. So this is not something new. All of this information is available, and I didn't see anything from this trailer beyond generic Middle-earth.
But I didn't think we should have expected to see anything. It was just announcing this thing's coming.
I know.
We'll see what happens.
I wanted them to tell me this thing's coming and why it's different from what you've already seen.
See, and I don't think we should, and I agree with you, that should be in the marketing. I agree. You and I are on the same page there. I just don't think they needed to put that in yet. Not in February, when the show's coming out in September, but if they don't give us later exactly what you're saying, because you are 100% right. If they don't give us that by the time the marketing is really in full swing and they're really giving us a taste of what the show is, then I'm going to be concerned.
But I will say I did love the look, because the look made me, they're like, okay, this has that Middle-earthian quality, that fairy tale yet gritty quality of Peter Jackson's. And not that Peter Jackson's work has to be the end-all be-all, even though the Lord of the Rings trilogy is one of the greatest trilogies ever made. I like that I did appreciate that it looks that way.
Yeah, and let me ask you this. Do you agree with my kind of assessment of that? For me, the only thing I was looking for in this trailer was, does it look like this is cinematic in nature? And I felt it did.
It absolutely did.
Okay.
Absolutely did. And I was like, that's very, very cool. But the thing is, to me, that's not enough anymore, because they can make everything look cinematic if they want. We're getting a lot of TV shows that are shot in a widescreen aspect ratio now. And, Star Trek Discovery can look very cinematic. And there's a lot
times.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that, look, I think that there's so much richness that this show, I have high hopes still.
Right. Again, I'm saying I am completely in agreement with you. I just don't think it was realistic for us to expect that they would show us any of that yet. Hell, I don't even think they should have put out this trailer at all. I mean, it's 7 months out. I think it's still far too early. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, Chris, you had a chance to see it. The owner of the dog, Gimli, son of Gloin.
Gimli, son of Gloin.
I am actually very curious, as somebody who is really excited about this as well. What did you think of the spot that we just saw?
I was very excited about this. I loved it. I told everyone to shut up, because this was my moment.
That's exactly what I thought you would
This is
do.
what I want to watch. I was really, really excited about it. The only issue I have right now, and I feel like we'll see more of this, hopefully, is what I really liked about the Lord of the Rings trilogy versus The Hobbit was all the practical work on those monsters.
Right.
I really, really loved that. And so this was a real CGI heavy situation for me. The makeup looked great and everything, but I want some real old school creature work. And I'm hoping with this budget, we get that.
See, this shot, I think you can see like I'm guessing those are like, what are those they're fighting? Is that like orcs? They
look
have
like
pointed
orcs.
ears like
Yeah.
elves, but they kind of look orcs. So
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully that's a lot of practical people in costumes, stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Because the one monster we come out that you were talking about earlier looks great, right? That
Yes.
CGI monster. But I still just want to have some really, really awesome practical monsters in there that really take me into that moment and make me feel like I'm in that fantasy world. Because CGI is great and beautiful, and we've done so many incredible things with it. But there's just something special about a real friggin' monster that just warms my heart. So I hope we get more of that. But I'm stoked.
But remember too, even in the original Lord of the Rings films, like
We still
the
have
Cave
that.
Troll was CGI.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, there's still a lot of CG, but like you said, the orcs, a lot of the orc stuff is all practical.
They
Yeah.
need to have a good balance here. And I
Exactly.
hope they remember that. And plus it'll work to their budget as well. So
Mm-hmm.
and Ray, you saw it. Like you're not as excited about the show as a lot of us, but what did you think about it?
There's only one show that matters to me right now. That's Halo. but you know what? When you go back to these like fantasy with swords and stuff, there's only one property that matters, and that's Lord of the Rings to me. I mean, but this show, I didn't get enough from the trailer to really have an opinion on it.
Right.
I'm not gonna bash or I'm not gonna praise. I just didn't see enough, and I'm not the one to hold an opinion on what I saw. I don't have any, but I'm looking forward to it. Well, if the shows are really an hour long, like we're probably gonna be covering it if it's good, right, John?
Oh, this is my
Come
most
on now.
anticipated-
Probably.
Yeah, I am.
We'll
very
probably be
curious.
doing a weekly thing, so whether I want to or not, I'm gonna be watching
You're
this
gonna be watching
show.
the show.
It's like, yeah. So
Hey,
whatever.
I actually heard a whisper. Now, I'm not putting any stock in this, so I'm not going to make a video about it. I'm just letting you know, it's just a side note for us to kind of file away for later.
Back in our minds.
I heard a whisper that the episodes were all going to be north of an hour and 15 minutes or longer, each episode.
That wouldn't surprise me, because there are only 8 episodes in the first season.
8, something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, like, if that's the case, you're getting close. You get into an hour and 20 minutes, you're getting close to a feature-length film length.
Yeah.
Every week. Now again, I'm not
That
putting
makes me
any
excited.
stock in that rumor. I'm not going to believe it at this point. I'm just going to file that one away and go, oh, how awesome would that be? I mean, it might help explain too the $468 million
Yeah.
production budget.
Jeez
It was longer,
Louise.
but we'll find out. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What did you think about the Lord of the Rings, the Ring of Power trailer? What kind of expectations were you going into it with? Were you excited to see it? Did you like the look of it? Were you kind of hoping for more? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, you know what? We were about to talk about the Doctor Strange trailer, but we're running a bit late. So we'll come back to the Doctor Strange trailer tomorrow. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh my
That's all
God.
I was serious.
Thought you were
dude.
the worst person in the God.
Y'all looked at me like I was dead serious. Like I was losing my mind.
I turned my seat. I was going to walk out. I'm like, what? I threw my termination pay.
I'm so even keeled. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go get pokey. I'll see you later.
I was seriously about to close this chat out because I didn't want to see the fire that is going to come towards me. You don't live this life in the chat right here.
All right, guys.
All right.
Fun, John. I'll see you later.
Bye-bye. Just end it like that.
All right.
All right.
With that down, guys, let's get into main topic number 5, shall we? Chris, whatever is main topic number 5 today?
Main topic number 5 is coming from Assorted Musings. Hi, John and team. So Doctor Strange trailer dropped. It was cool, but let's talk about what really matters. Sir Patrick Stewart? Is Charles Xavier back? Are you losing your mind as much as I am? That one line in the trailer just jumped Multiverse of Madness to my number 1 most anticipated film of the year. Sorry, Batman. What do you all think? Cheers.
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in Assorted Musings. And one of the trailers that we were expecting to see during the Super Bowl was Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness. Now, there were 2 different versions. One was the spot they aired on television. Then there was the full 2-minute thing that dropped. We're going to kind of focus here on the full 2-minute thing that dropped.
Yeah.
Obviously, my number 1 most anticipated film, I said this earlier in the show today, is The Batman. And it's been The Batman by a fair margin. Like, nothing else was even really close. Obviously, super looking forward to Cyrano, looking forward to The Northman, definitely looking forward to Doctor Strange, Thor, Love and Thunder. But it was The Batman by a mile. I have always said that the job of a trailer, when you boil it down, is to do one thing. The job of a trailer is to take your anticipation level, no matter how high or how low it is, and bump it up a couple of notches. I'm going to go on a limb here right now. This might be the best trailer Marvel's ever put out. You know what? I'm not going to say might. This is the best trailer Marvel has ever produced. And I know a bunch of people are going to scream at their computer monitor saying, the Infinity War and Endgame. No. Those were movies that we may have been anticipating more. We were super excited about. And so they dropped the trailers to them. And we all, including me, would get into this fevered pitch. But as a pure trailer, I cannot remember a Marvel trailer ever coming out that took my excitement level for a movie and bumped it up that much higher. Because I was already super excited for Endgame. I was already super excited for Infinity War and Civil War. Expectations were already up here. And I have been excited for Doctor Strange too. I have. But the sheer difference that this trailer has made is astounding. And it's not because of a cheap cameo. It's not even because of the Professor X appearance in it. It's not even because of that. It's because, oh my God, this story looks amazing. And it gives us a sense of the DNA of it. This is going to be twisty. One of you 2 guys was joking I'm going to need to drop acid before I watch this movie. Like when you say we're definitely going to have to do a lot of acid before.
It'll be a micro dose.
But then Rob said accurately, I don't think we're going to need to take acid to go watch this movie. I mean, it just gave all of that sense. It felt like it has broad implications. It felt like it has huge scope. The effects of it look nutty. I mean, Sidorak. It just everything about this trailer. I mean, the whole Zombie Strange thing. That might not even be Zombie Strange. That might just be the effects of a dark entity, but we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. I think right now today, I'm going to say this is the best trailer Marvel's ever given, because the one job of the trailer, create that big difference between where your anticipation was and now is. I've never had one lift my anticipation more than this trailer did. I was giddy. I was so happy with what I saw in this trailer. It was exciting. It gave us everything we wanted to see. It seemed to affirm a couple of theories that we had. Because I've been saying for a long time, Wanda's going to be a villain in this show. Now, how she's going to be a villain, whether she's controlled by somebody else or maybe there's another version of whatever. Oh, let me get that on you, Ray. Hold that up right there. Yeah. That's going to be our villain right there.
Right here.
That's going to be our villain right there, or at least one of the villains, I think. At any rate, we're going to go step by step through this trailer in just a minute here. But I just wanted to give my general thought first here that this trailer was uneffing believable. It really was. From the opening moments to the end, I loved it. So let's just go around. Let's just talk our general thoughts quick, and then we'll get into some specifics on the trailer. Rob, let's start over with you. What's your general reaction to this Doctor Strange trailer?
Well, the first thing I thought about was I wish John Schnepp was still with us.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because John Schnepp loved Doctor Strange. But John, I have to say that, I have so many thoughts. This movie, I was wondering, okay, how is it gonna link up with the end of Spider-Man No Way Home? I mean, this movie is not only a direct sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home, but it's dealing with the consequences and ramifications of what Doctor Strange did in Spider-Man No Way Home in a way that it surprised me. To understand that what he's doing, I love when Mordo says that line about you can't mess with
desecration of reality.
Desecration of reality will have consequences. And then he's like, he's shackled and he's led by Ultron robots up to the Illuminati to stand. I'm like, I can't even, I'm thinking about this trailer, my mind is racing, John. I am so stoked for what I saw because I was worried that this was going to be like a middling Doctor Strange adventure with lots of cameos. Because aren't cameos fun? This looks like you said, the scope of this story looks epic and gigantic, and the ramifications look huge, and the use of the multiverse and why we're going to see cameos are I think, going to be justified. I mean, like you said, John, I was excited about this movie, but I was worried about it. I'm like, I didn't know. This looks to be something that I've wanted to see my whole life, and I didn't quite know how much I wanted to see it my whole life. But I certainly do now.
By the way, I wanted to, you just mentioned how much Schnepp would have loved it. I just thought it'd be fun. I'm going to bring up this picture here. This was me, Anne, Schnepp and Holly at the world premiere of the first Doctor Strange movie. And I remember how absolutely giddy he was going in. As we were out there, we were walking the red carpet and we're getting ready to walk in. And he was like a little kid, man. He was so excited after the movie. He was so giddy about all the stuff we saw. So you're absolutely right. I mean, there's a lot of movies that come out that we wish Schnepp was still here for, but that was when he definitely.
I also want to throw in, this is what, the 28th Marvel movie, the 28th MCU film, and we're 28 movies deep into a franchise, and you can watch something like this that is showing you stuff we haven't seen in the franchise before, maybe a little taste of it in the What If show, and I'm just like, bro, they're Ultron robots. They're Ultron robots leading in Doctor Strange, and you know how much I love Ultron. I couldn't believe this. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
I mean, it was kind of nutty. Ray, let me ask you, what did you think about the trailer? What was your general impressions of it?
You know what? I loved it. I think it looks way over the top. There's a lot of things that I'm seeing in the chat and from you even afterwards are pointing out that just went over my head just because I took it as I just watched it one time. For when you sent me that headline about Patrick Stewart,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize his voice was in it. That's how much I was just intrigued by the visuals I was seeing, the zombie Doctor Strange and all that. I have to say that I think all this crazy stuff that's in this movie is going to end after, and we'll go back to normal Marvel. So I think it's one of my most anticipated comic book film now. I just feel it's going to be so bonkers. This is a one-time thing. They're going to close up all the ends of all this multiverse stuff.
Well, we got Quantum Mania coming.
Mm-hmm.
But that may or may not be multiple realities, because they've done so it's interesting to see. Chris, you had a chance to see it. What were your first impressions?
Oh man. Well, first of all, I had to go back and watch it because I missed it when it was playing during the Super Bowl.
Well, that's fine because they only played the short version of the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we get the big one. This looks great. I'm so excited for Wanda to just have her moment too of going, that doesn't seem fair. I'm very, very hyped for her to kind of take on this role.
That's around the bend, Wanda Maximoff. That is, she's insane.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
And just the way she said it, Like, you break the rules, you're a hero. I break the rules, I'm the enemy. That doesn't seem
seem
fair.
fair.
Like, she said that very menacingly.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Lizzie Olsen isn't messing around.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I love that. And I love that we're bringing in these what if kind of characters and everything too. We're going to see that Doctor Strange. We've got so much happening here. And you're right, Rob. It doesn't look like it's just cameos for the sake of cameos or anything. It looks like this really well-constructed web we've put together of let's tie all this up. Let's really, really explore all these different little things we've been talking about for the last several films and TV franchises.
And you know what else? I was worried that this movie might get away from being a Doctor Strange film.
Exactly.
And it clearly is dealing with what is Doctor Strange, what is the Sorcerer Supreme's responsibility to reality or to the world, to the universe. And it seems like that's exactly what this is. Even Wong
Looks
was like
so badass. in this.
he was I love Wong. He's like accusatory. He was just like and he is the Sorcerer Supreme now.
I'm so embarrassed. The spot we saw during the Super Bowl was the only trailer I watched. There's a longer one?
Dude.
Oh, you didn't watch the 2-minute
No,
version.
I didn't.
Oh, no wonder a lot of stuff's going
Yeah, a
over
lot
your
of stuff
head.
is flowing. Oh my God, I feel like an idiot
You
now.
were a little,
I need to watch it after.
You were a little focused on the Bengals.
Yeah.
We'll give you a break on that one. By the way, I wanted to point out, like, this shot. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying there absolutely is a connection, but this is visually, this is very much a callback to Infinity War with what he did to Drax, with what Thanos did to Drax. Remember when he cubed up? So
I love that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We were looking. Okay, so let's take a second here. Let's kind of go through the trailer a little bit here, bit by bit. Now, this opening is actually kind of amazing because one of the things they say in the trailer, he says, "I have the same nightmare, or I have the same dream, and then I wake up to the nightmare." It's like the reality. But I heard a great theory. Somebody on Twitter said this, that the theory is that Doctor Strange in his dreams is seeing the death of other universes' Doctor Stranges. And that when we get to this one shot, like I think we have America Chavez in it. So there's this one shot of America Chavez, right? And I think we got Defender Strange here, but he looks dead. Like he looks like he's ripped up. Now remember, America Chavez, she has the ability to kick open portals to other realities, to the multiverse, right? So it looks like this dude's dead. So I read this really interesting theory that the nightmares that Strange is having is actually the deaths of other Doctor Stranges, and he feels it across the multiverse, right? Then, of course, this was cool because what are they called? The Living Bands? The Living Bands of Sidorak.
Yeah, the Living Bands of Sidorak.
Which saw.
He's used, yes.
Doctor Strange has used the Living Bands of Sidorak in Infinity War, the red bands that he shot out to wrap up Thanos' arm. By the way, in the comic books, if you think you recognize the name Sidorak, Sidorak is the source of the power behind Dr. Charles Xavier's brother,
Juggernaut.
Cain Marco, that's where his power comes from, is from Sidorak. So whether this is the Living Bands of Sidorak or Sidorak himself, whatever, we clearly see America Chavez here in the thing as well.
How about, when you see this at the beginning of the trailer, the Sanctum Sanctorum kind of in that gray realm and you see New York, it looks like after Thanos snapped people and how they begin to dissolve away and how this city's like reality is being taken away, and it had that Thanos vibe. I don't know quite what that means. Is that one timeline being ended or something? I mean, just those images are insane.
Okay, so let's keep going through this here. So we go from that. Of course, he's waking up as reality. Marvel. Oh, this is interesting here. This shot here.
Love it.
The book at his feet. That's the Darkhold. That's the Darkhold at his feet. So I'm thinking this shot takes place after he goes and sees Wanda. So the guess is he goes, sees Wanda, gets the book from her. It looks like he's looking at various realities. You got the chaos magic going like crazy. Wong telling him you can't control everything. Then again, him seeing the city again. This might be a nightmare of him seeing another reality getting destroyed by something coming on, maybe caused by Wanda, maybe not. Destruction, panic in the streets, all that kind of stuff. Meeting Wanda, coming up to Wanda, destruction coming, yada yada. Get a great shot of a guy who I think is probably the most underappreciated actor in the world right now, and that's Chiwetel Ejiofor as Baron Mordo, where he says the line to him, "Your desecration of reality. I'm sorry, Stephen. Your desecration of reality cannot go unpunished." Which is
So good.
Which is so good. But listen, let's fast forward here a little bit to what is the money shot. Okay? In the comics, now remember, the comics are the comics, the movies are the movies.
Sure.
Just because something is one way in the comics, Kevin Feige has shown us a million times, does not mean that's what he's going to do in the movies. He'll take it, get some inspiration from it, twist it, do it differently. But with it being Patrick Stewart, and by the way, I told you guys, when that story of, well, Patrick Stewart said Kevin Feige talked to him, but he said no. I'm like, no. That story doesn't come out. Now, I didn't know if it was going to be WandaVision. I didn't know if it was going to be I thought there was a possibility maybe pops up in WandaVision. But I knew in my heart we were going to see Patrick Stewart at one point. I suggested maybe WandaVision. It looks like this was it. But Patrick Stewart says, we should tell him the truth. That sounded more like Dumbledore. Sorry. But anyway, Professor X says, we should tell him the truth. And they only show you the back of his head, this bald, shiny, beautiful head.
But it looks like he's in the Illuminati's chambers.
This is what I'm going to right here. This is the Illuminati. This is the Illuminati. Now, if you go look all the way to the right, the guy walking in, clearly Baron Mordo. Clearly Baron Mordo. The guy on the left, you don't see very clearly, but the way he's sitting and the way it looks like there's something kind of around the neck, I think is Black Panther. I'm going to say I think that's Black Panther sitting there. Then on in between Strange and Mordo walking in, I have no idea who that is. From the silhouette, you can clearly tell it's somebody with long hair. I've heard the theories that maybe it's Thor, but when you look at the arms, they look a little bit too small. So it might be another type of version of somebody else. Some people are speculating that because we see the Ultron robots, that we're going to get a Tony Stark from the multiverse in this. I've been telling you guys forever, Robert Downey Jr. will be back. Maybe this will be it. Maybe not here. Maybe something else. Maybe Tom Cruise. Who knows? But there's also there's two other empty seats. Because we see 2 on his left, 3 on his right, and we know Patrick Stewart's in his wheelchair somewhere in the middle. So there's still 2 empty chairs unaccounted for here. So could it be a Black Bolt? Could it be Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic?
Oh, I think for sure.
Are we about to see Mr. Fantastic? Because I want to remind everybody.
And Namor. Mm-hmm. We're going to see Namor and Reed Richards.
too.
Maybe yes, maybe no. But I'm going to tell you this. I told everybody for years when they said X-Men are coming around, I said, Kevin Feige said 5 years. Feige said 5 years. Well, guess what? Since they announced that Disney was going to try to take over Fox, been about 5 years. And so this could be amazing, but the damn thing doesn't stop there. We keep going, and we get a lot of destruction, a lot of madness. Again, we saw the jigsaw puzzleness of it. We get the dark Doctor Strange from the What If saying, what is it he says? It's about to get weird or
something like
I
that.
can't remember exactly.
Let's get weird.
Let's get weird. Let's get
No, I'm just saying that's workaholics, I think.
Yeah. Let's take off our pants. I don't know what he's going to say there, but we get more into the explosions, the chaos magic, but then what I consider to be the other money shot.
Oh,
Besides Patrick Stewart,
This moment.
the other thing I've been saying for a long time, Wanda's going to be the villain in this, or at least a villain.
She looks amazing in this shot. I haven't even seen this
scary as
further.
hell.
Yes.
When she says to him, you break the rules and you're called a hero. Then we see that statue of Doctor Strange.
Ugh.
I break the rules and I'm the enemy.
It's like the calm hurricane look.
Doesn't seem fair. So I'm going to F y'all up. I mean, I don't know if that was going to be the next. I think that's literally.
Well, then there's that
That's the
great
next
so I'm
Sam
going to F
Raimi,
y'all up.
the push into her eye, the camera.
Oh, the blood shot on the
I
eye.
mean, remember, Sam Raimi, Evil Dead Sam Raimi, not just Spider-Man, but I'm talking Evil Dead 1, 2, and Army of Darkness Sam Raimi, Darkman Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi is making this. So this, I'm expecting a lot of camera pyrotechnics. I mean, this looks like it's him. It looks like Sam Raimi is uncut, and I'm ready to snort it all because it is unbelievable.
Come on, keep going through the trailer. Come on, I want to see more.
All right, then we go back to the trailer. And then another great money shot where Wanda literally touching the face of the other Wanda. Now, there's 2 different possibilities here. Some people think this is 2 Wandas. I think there's another possibility here that this is a vision. that it's the one realities of Wanda looking at what she becomes. I mean, I'm not saying I'm putting stock in either of those. I'm just saying there are two different predominant theories where you've got like Wanda looking down on herself, touching, and she looks like she's been through the ringer. Her face is beaten up a little bit, going through some war. And then, of course, I believe we saw a shot of Mordo and Strange fighting it out. Oh, God, Chiwetel Ejiofor is the man.
Dude.
I love this dude so
great.
much. So you get some of that. Again, what's the name of the tentacle creature again? I can't keep forgetting the one he's fighting in the streets. I can't remember the name. Guys in the live chat, what's the name of the I forget the name of the tentacle creature that he's fighting in the streets. But I think that's Wong fighting him. I think it's everybody fighting. I think we see Doctor Strange bring up the buzzsaw, but then I think the one diving in to attack him, Shuma Gorath. Thank you, everybody in the live chat. Thank you very much. So, I mean, so this looks awesome. It's a very James Gunn looking creature, by the way.
Right.
It's a very-
It really is.
right out of Starro kind of
Yeah.
thing. And then again, third money shot. Zombie Doctor Strange.
Woo!
Yeah, come
That
on.
looks so.
Harking back to Infinity War, and that whole
Now, whether or not this is literally a zombie Doctor Strange, or whether or not this is what some kind of dark universal energy that is a part of this movie is doing to him, whatever. But for now, we'll just call it Zombie Doctor Strange. Let's bring him back up again. And of course, all the arms of Doctor Strange that come out again. Look at that. Look, if all you did on Super Bowl, okay? If all you did on Super Bowl was bring up a screen, says, "Hello, everybody, I'm Kevin Feige." And then for 25 seconds, he says, "For the next 25 seconds, I'm going to scratch my ass." And Kevin Feige turned around and for 25 seconds of the Super Bowl, just scratched his ass. And then for the next final 5 seconds, they just brought up this image. I would have been sold. Like this image in and of itself is so freaking unbelievable and adrenaline inducing. And it just looks amazing. A little bit of Harry Potter there. He's got the, what the frick do you call the things? The Dementors.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange releasing the Dementors flying around.
A little Ursula in there too.
A little bit of
from
Ursula
Little
in there,
Mermaid.
A little bit of that in there. I mean, it could have been Kevin Feige scratch his ass for 25 seconds and then go, "Oh, by the way, let me show you this," and they just brought up that. I'd be like, "We're ready
Can't wait to
go."
see this trailer.
there is. As I watched it, John, there was a problem. I was going to talk to you about this today. We're going to have to renegotiate our deal because there's going to be so many hot toys made from this movie.
You're gonna need more
I'm
money.
going to need a lot more money.
Big raises.
I'm going to need a lot more money. I just was counting up how many hundreds of dollars in hot toys that are going to be made from this film because they announced that they have the rights to do these, and I'm like, there must be at least 50.
Buy
Hot
that
toys
house.
By the
get
way,
those hot toys.
Yeah. I don't need the house. Come on.
Estigo in the live chat is saying, "I need the Kevin Feige ass scratching figure." So there you go. It's
It's going to be a big collectible.
Jewett Hot Toys, Kevin Feige just scratching his ass, still making $1 billion at the box office.
I just think it's fascinating that we can still get this excited about a Marvel movie. And it's a testament to what they've done with this franchise.
It really is. Let me go around the circle here. Let me start with you, Chris. We just kind of went through the trailer, and I'm sure there's probably some big moments I'm still forgetting. But what was the moment that you walked away with it? Like, what's the moment that stuck with you as you walked? The first thing that comes to your mind that happened in this trailer that's a standout, shining moment for you.
It's that creepy ass Wanda line. I
Yeah.
was like, "Yes, bitch, yes." And then there was a little blurb where I went, "Oh, Rachel's getting married to someone else." Okay.
We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah. But I went, "Oh, okay." Because, Rachel McAdams was very underutilized in the original film, I think. Although we had that wonderful scene that was directly from the comics with her. So that was lovely. But Wanda's the one who just kind of shines in this for me. And I'm so excited to see Steve and her just like duke it out, but also be allies. What is happening? I don't know what's happening, and I'm so intrigued. I want to know more.
Rob, over to you. What's the moment that stood out to you the most?
I love that whole New York skyline, like the Empire State Building. I say it's getting snapped, but the sheer size and scope of all of this, and Kamertage or whatever being destroyed, and who's the dude with the horns, and what realities are we in? And I just, there's so much stuff, but I loved seeing the Sanctum Sanctorum in the beginning, that the lone sanctum sanctorum, the first time you see it's disintegrating and it's blowing away in the wind. I mean, I was in from the get on this because, man.
I have a question. Did we see any of the characters that were in that Marvel Legends set? Remember the one which we reported?
Yes, well, the Minotaur one. So that guy, but that's the only guy. Well, and the Defender Strange, but it looks like he might be dead. So
But no Despair or none of the other guy?
Not
Okay,
that we
just
could see.
curious.
I mean, unless it was implied and we didn't notice it, but so that's going to be an interesting keep its eye on too.
Do you all have an over-under on Namor appearing in this, since we had that kind of allusion to it in Endgame? Or to him, rather?
I'm going to do... I didn't think he was alluded to in Endgame.
The earthquake under the ocean. You don't think so?
Mentioning water, I don't think...
That's Eternals, baby. Come on.
Yeah, I don't...
That was
Eternals? I thought it was him.
I don't think that was a Namor
I got excited about him.
thing.
Yeah. But
I'm going to put
that.
18%. Because I still... Just to be clear, I have not heard from anybody official that all the licensing red tape with Universal has at all been completely cleared up. So I'm still not convinced, but I think it's possible. So I'm going to go as high as 18% that we may see Namor.
Okay.
I would be surprised if the characters they introduce, because they can have different variants. I mean, if Tom Cruise appears as Tony Stark, whatever, or Robert Downey Jr. comes back. But here's a great opportunity. Like, let's just say that John Krasinski is cast as Reed Richards. Now, what if they don't say anything? He's just there. Now, anyone who's a comics fan knows the Illuminati, and there's just the Reed Richards is John Krasinski. People would lose their mind. I would lose my mind. If whoever Namor is, and if they're going to recast a new Black Panther, that they're just all there, and this is their way. How do you outdo? Marvel is coming off of Spider-Man No Way Home, which gave us Tobey Maguire, which gave us Andrew Garfield, and this is their next movie, which is a direct sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home. How do they give us something that, because this movie looks so cool and so, like you said, John, it just looks like a really great, fascinating story. You know me, I'm all about characters and stories. But if they were to just drop these things, just like, yep. I mean, talk about mic drops on I mean, this movie could be full of mic drops, and they're setting up the rest of the next 10 years, and we don't even know it.
By the way, I should just mention here quickly, I did read another theory online where the common theory right now, including me, is that the big problem here is the spell that he cast to help Peter in Spider-Man No Way Home, right? I have read a theory that won't be the case. Because you hear Strange say, I did what I had to do to try to protect the world. Well, that's not why he cast the spell with Peter. He was just trying to help out Peter. That's all he did. The theory I read was that just as Doctor Strange is seeing the deaths of all of his other counterparts, that Wanda herself becomes the spark that leads to the destruction of all the other realities. And that she's actually the one that's causing all this and not Doctor Strange. Again, I'm not saying I'm buying into that, but that's very interesting to me too.
I like that too. Her grief, it's her, which then again continues on from WandaVision. Which
How great was it that she referenced Viz?
Oh, it was great.
Viz used to say, oh, my heart. Just her saying Viz, it just made my heart kind of sad.
Aww. I mean, I do think that, there's got to be some kind of a connection, because he did cast this spell for Peter and it went awry and he had to fix it at the end of the movie, and you can't just do that.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What did you think about this Doctor Strange trailer? For me, I'll go on record. I think it is the best trailer when you understand what I believe the job of a trailer is. This is the best trailer I think Marvel's ever put together. I have never had my enthusiasm level for a Marvel property change as much as it did with this trailer. Anyway, guys, what did you think of it? Whatever you're thinking, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys. I know a lot of you guys probably have a lot to say about the Doctor Strange trailer, so we're now going to move over and start taking your live comments that you guys have been firing in. But before we do, let's hear from one more sponsor of today's episode, the good folks over at ExpressVPN. We want to take a moment and thank a sponsor of today's video, ExpressVPN. So guys, if you've been listening to or following me for any period of time, you guys know that one of my big concerns is often online privacy. And that's why I use ExpressVPN. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are probably thinking. You're thinking, well, why don't you just use incognito mode? Well, let me tell you something. Incognito mode does not hide your activity. It doesn't matter what mode you use or how many times you clear your browsing history. Your internet service provider can still see every single website that you visited. And listen, it doesn't matter who your internet service provider is. Internet service providers in the US can legally sell your information to ad companies. ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so that your internet service provider can't see the sites that you're visiting. ExpressVPN also keeps all of your information secure by encrypting 100% of your data with the most powerful encryption available. And ExpressVPN is available on all your devices. I mean, your phones, computers, even your smart TV. Protect your online activity today with the VPN rated #1 by Business Insider. Visit my exclusive link, expressvpn.com/Campea, and you can get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/Campea. expressvpn.com/Campea to learn more. All right, guys, most everybody you know who's really serious about their online world uses a VPN. Thank you again to the good folks over ExpressVPN. Okay, guys, before we get into the live comments and questions you guys have been firing in, I want to let you guys know about our special Batman event. Yes, we have a special event coming up for the Batman. Of course, Batman opens up officially on March 4th, and we are doing a special John Campea Show fan event screening of the Batman, where you can come and join me, Chris, Ray, Aaron, Rob. You can come and join us for opening day of Batman
Bruce.
on Friday. Who?
Bruce.
Oh, of course, Bruce. Well, Bruce will be there. Join us on Friday, March the 4th, opening day of Batman in Burbank, California, to come and watch it. Now, here's how you can score an invitation to come and watch this movie with us and join us at this screening. I need you to email me a video of yourself. Just put it up on YouTube and mark it as unlisted. So or you can make it public if you want, that's fine. But make a video of yourself, upload it, keep it to 30 seconds or less. This is key. If it's over 30 seconds, disqualified. So 30 seconds or less, upload it to YouTube and put it as unlisted, and then email me the link at john@thejohncampeashow.com. That's john@thejohncampeashow.com. And in the subject line, put Batman screening. Remember, if you don't put that in the subject line of the email, I'm not going to see it. So put in the subject line of your email, Batman screening, and attach a link, put in the link to your video of you talking about why you want to see the Batman with the John Campea Show crew. From there, we're going to pick out a couple of you guys, and you guys will score invitations, and we'll let you know as we get closer to the viewing. So we hope a lot of you guys will send those videos in, and we're looking forward to watching the Batman with you guys on March the 4th. Okay. With that down now, we'll talk about that more later in the week as well. With that down, guys, let's now get over and start taking your live questions, shall we? All right, Chris, what are we starting off with here today?
We are starting with Chris Miner. What was your favorite Super Bowl commercial last night? Mine was the Larry David one. Speaking of, what is your favorite Super Bowl commercial of all time?
I would have to remember which ones were all time. I think if we're not talking about the trailers, the Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen one is hilarious, but I also love the Rocket Mortgage one with Anna Kendrick.
That's mine.
With the Barbie house and the Castle of Grayskull. I loved that one too. The Jason Bateman one was pretty funny, although I can't even remember what that was for.
It's for a Hyundai, and I keep looking at it.
The Ioniq, their new electric car.
That commercial worked really well. I have it up in my browser.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, where I'm like, I should get that car.
I took it for a test drive. Yeah, it's
sexy.
When we were looking at electric
it.
cars, we thought about the Ioniq. We ended up going with the Teslas, but did any of you guys have a favorite trailer or commercial?
Pringles, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, the Pringles commercial.
I was crying. I didn't know why. It was just such a good time to. Why can't that guy just break that thing and just take it off his arm?
I haven't seen you laugh that hard in a while.
I was laughing. I was
Pringles
like
where you got the
lying
can?
on the couch, laid out, because I was a little tipsy too, kind of. And then, but
Watching Super
it was
Bowl.
super funny.
Lindsay Lohan and Shatner.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Come on, man.
I
What
don't
was that, a
believe he
Planet
goes
Fitness?
to Planet Fitness, though. I was like, that's a lie.
But you know what?
Hi, William.
I have to say there was anyone who knows William Shatner knows he likes to be called Bill.
Right.
So I understand they have to make sure in case you don't know it, but she should have called him Bill. That was the only thing I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Hey,
the world knows it was William Shatner.
I know. I just, for me, verisimilitude was shattered.
Good Canadian kid. What about you? What was your favorite?
That Anna Kendrick one. I loved that one, especially with the He-Man fortress popping up at the end. I thought that was wonderful.
That was so
great
good.
Skeletor laugh.
Oh, John, the NFL one too. The one with the small
With the
characters.
little
with
CGI
Peyton Manning,
Pixar
the CGI
characters?
little, yeah.
I don't understand though why you had to advertise the NFL during the Super Bowl. I was like, yeah, I know. I know
I don't
about
know
y'all.
either.
I know
There's
about
next
y'all.
season. Come
But
on.
it was great.
That was a cute
It
wonderful,
was
very
a weird
Pixarian.
small soldiers mind fuck. Oh, no, sorry.
And I like LeBron James and his younger self.
That was pretty
You mean
cool
we're
too.
in the league?
We're in the league. We're going to the league.
Going to the league.
All right, what's next?
Suthius, y'all, are we really doing this? Some have been waiting for X-Men, but I've been waiting for the Illuminati. Holy bald-headed Xavier, Batman. Cannot wait to see who else is on that council.
You know, it's funny though. Here's the funny thing. Just gonna say this. Maybe I shouldn't. What they just did in this Doctor Strange trailer, they should have done for Spider-Man No Way Home. I said for a long time, they should have, look, everybody in the world knew that Andrew and Peter were going to be in the movie.
No.
They should have just put that in the trailers. That, as much money as that movie made opening weekend, would have made more. And they seem to, I think they believe that now because, you know what? Just let everybody know that Patrick Stewart's here. And they let the world know that Patrick Stewart's in it. They should have done that before. And we didn't even know. We didn't even suspect Patrick Stewart was going to be in this.
Still in
Even though
shock.
everybody already knew Maguire and Garfield. I'm glad they put him in this. Do you think they're going to show his face at some point?
Come on.
Yes.
Oh, you mean in the trailer or in the
Yeah,
movie?
yeah, in the trailer, in the trailers.
You know,
I mean, they just told the world he's there.
look, I think that the movie comes out in May. We're 2.5 months away, March and April, whatever. I think that the final trailer for this is going to, they have to top themselves. Like, I don't know.
This was the first trailer. How are they going to top this?
I don't know.
can't-
But I'll tell you how they're going to top it.
No,
They're going to top it by showing us some things that we haven't seen yet, which is all about people.
Or the full Illuminati.
Characters. Yeah,
Show
and they're
the
going to
full
show us
Illuminati.
all of them.
Breaks the internet.
Because we already know that they're there. They've already said, and I think they're going to show us like can you imagine if the final shot of the last Doctor Strange trailer is the Illuminati and Doctor Strange gets brought up in front of them and it's a shot of all of them sitting there in judgment?
And what
Take
if?
my
Bro.
money?
What if John Krasinski is there as Reed Richards and sitting beside him is Jenna Fisher as Sue Storm? A little bit of office reunion, Jim and
I
Pam.
would walk out of the theater and be like, what the hell is this?
Jim and Pam back together again.
Dude,
Now it'll probably
and
be
Ultron
it.
robots. I
And
love
Ultra,
the
that's why you got to know Tony Stark's going to be there. Whether it's the Robert Downey Jr. one or a Tom Cruise one or whatever, you know he's going to be there. The Illuminati, baby. All right.
I mean, I can't imagine what they're going to show us. It's going to be bonkers.
yeah, the next trailer is going to be crazy. All right, what's next?
Hey, Marcellus, one of two. This new trilogy needs to have a good writer that understands the universe. Have a compelling story with a beginning, middle, and end. Have your characters serve the story and grow effectively. Have the new Jedi learn from the old Order's mistakes and grow on their own. No more Jedi that happened to survive Order, whatever, or anyone that knew Palpatine's cousin. Lol.
Here's the thing.
Here we go again.
Every filmmaker, every screenwriter sets out to do exactly what you just said. They all set out to tell a good story and whatever. It's just everybody thinks that's easy, and it's not easy. And sometimes they succeed, and sometimes they fail. I would say this. I think the main thing that needs to differentiate whatever new trailer or whatever new trilogy would be from the sequel trilogy. And by the way, I think the sequel trilogy is in every way superior to the prequels. No doubt. As bad as The Rise of Skywalker is, and that movie's terrible. I still think that the sequel trilogy is better. But the one thing that the prequel trilogy did much better, while Lucas didn't script out all three of those trilogies at the same time, he kind of charted it out. He had a plan for all three movies. He knew where the movies were going. And they didn't do that for the sequel trilogy. And that ultimately is what caused the wheels to come off. There was no plan. They just played it by ear and winged it. And you can wing it for a bit, but eventually that shit catches up
I
to you.
think there was more of a plan. I really do think Carrie Fisher's death derailed what they were doing, because I reported on the Colin Trevorrow Duel of the Fates script, which I thought was pretty good, and it worked. If they had done that script, it would have tied everything up pretty nicely, not along the lines of what they ended up doing. And but I think it had three different. It gave Rose and Finn a great arc. It was a much better movie, but I think that losing Leia torpedoed that.
I got a question real quick. Do you think one-offs would work with Star Wars?
They've already done it.
Something
Rogue
that's
One.
not connected to anything. Like you know how like the Batman, they're saying, "Hey, this is just Batman himself, not a
But
part
it's
of the
still Batman.
DCEU."
But it's still Batman.
But do you think that would work where a person that's not handcuffed to having to follow the exact canon of everything that's Star Wars? I mean,
I'd like to see Almost Famous, but with Max Rebo. I'd watch that movie.
I would watch that so much.
They had the Star Wars Visions episode with the band.
Love that series.
Come on,
It
man.
is so fun.
By the way, breaking news. We have our Oscar hosts.
I read it. I read that too.
The Oscars, and I'm not going to lie, I'm completely disappointed. Only they could have named anybody. I'd be disappointed if it wasn't going to be Tom Holland. The Oscar hosts this year are going to be... No, it's not Batman. I just had Batman on the screen. The Oscar hosts this year are going to be Amy Schumer, Regina Hall, and Wanda Sykes.
Okay.
I love Regina Hall.
I like Schumer.
I like Wanda Sykes.
I like Amy Schumer. I do
all
not
of
see any of these three as Oscar hosts.
Well, they reported a few days ago, right, that it's one host per hour situation of just cycling through. So are they all going to come
Might be.
together
If that's the case, it breaks the whole idea about why you have a host
Yeah.
to take you through the whole show. I mean, I like all three of these individuals. I just don't see any of them. I freaking love Chiwetel Ejiofor. I don't see him as the host of the Oscars. I love... I love Channing Tatum, but I don't see him as a host of the Oscars.
Yeah.
This was put together so late in the game, as it's not normal that they pick a host like this close. But
That's true.
I mean, I'm sure that they picked it a while ago.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm sure they did, and they're probably just
I would
announcing
have
it now.
loved if we're having a female comedian. I would have loved Ali Wong. I think she would have slayed this.
Oh,
Ali
yeah.
Wong, Aquafina.
Aquafina would have been great.
Aquafina would have been great.
she was in a couple movies this year too.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
she's
Yeah.
been
Well, yeah,
between
that's
and the
what
Dubai
I find it interesting that these the hostesses they've picked are not exactly cinematic. Like
Or
Amy
Well,
Schumer-
Regina Hall's done a lot of good
Schumer's
stuff.
new
Amy
shows
Schumer-
on Hulu,
And she was in The Humans, that
Oh,
Stephen Yeun movie that came out.
and Wanda Sykes. I think Wanda Sykes is hilarious.
She's a darling.
Her stand-up is very funny. By the way, she's the voice of the Queen of Fables in Harley Quinn.
Oh.
She does
Yeah,
the voice of
she's
the Queen
great
of Fables
in
and
that.
Harley
Yeah, she's
Quinn,
great.
and that is pretty.
But again,
I don't see any
mean,
of them as the hosts, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. They maybe they can do it, but
We'll see.
I'm scared. Look, I like all three of these people. But there's a lot of people I like that I don't think would make good Oscar
It's
hosts.
odd
and
to have the three of them, though, just because it does feel disjointed, because the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield idea was just like, well, yeah, the three of them were in a movie together.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm
Yeah.
not getting.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I like them.
Well, let's do
I'm
it.
not gonna
Let's
lie.
do it.
I'm not thrilled with the hosts. I'm not thrilled with the selection. But who knows? Maybe it would be the best one they've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It
let's
depends.
keep going.
It really depends on the material now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah. So we'll see. All right. Let's keep going on here. What's next?
Andy, whether or not Professor X will be in it or not, marketing is being extremely cunning, because by using only Stewart's voice and giving little to no details, fan speculations will hype up the film very much like it did with Spider-Man No Way Home
Yep.
or WandaVision when they introduced Evan Peters.
Yeah, it is good. But by the way, there's no speculation to be had here. That's Patrick
That's his
Stewart.
voice.
Right.
So there's no speculation. We can go on now and speculate about the Illuminati and what's going to be a part in the Illuminati. I think they should correct the mistake they did in Spider-Man No Way Home marketing and actually show the Illuminati. I think that'll, because the Illuminati isn't as well known amongst non-comic fans. So I don't know. I think that would be something they could correct there, Andy. But man, I mean, like this trailer is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I cannot wait to see what they do for their second one. All right, what's next?
Sam Fisher. The MOM trailer was one of the best I have seen in a while. Although knowing Marvel, the whole thing could be a lie. Stewart might not be playing Xavier.
No, like that.
Sure.
Look. Even if you go back to the Infinity War, everybody always goes back to the Infinity War trailer where you see Hulk running through with the battle, and that's obviously not in the movie. But Hulk is in the movie. Right? They never went so far as to say, here's a character, and not even there. Right? They don't do that.
Yeah.
So they're not going to put in Patrick Stewart and have a line from him talking, and obviously implying that that's Professor Xavier. They're not going to do that and have him not in the movie. It's
Yeah,
one
it's
thing
not
to
like
do.
Q snapped Jean-Luc Picard into a Marvel film.
Yes, it's Jean-Luc Picard. There's a difference between doing a little bit of a misdirect about, like, Thanos only had only 2 gems in the Infinity Gauntlet when he really had more. That's a little misdirect. What Kevin Feige would not do is tell the audience, hey guys, Patrick Stewart's in this movie. Psych.
We're not going to treat Patrick Stewart like Anna de Armas. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, a little, yeah.
I mean, come on.
We're not going to pull an Amazon with that. Yeah, so.
By the way, speaking of that, can I just say a trailer dropped for Deep Water, Adrian Lyne, his movie that was going, it went to Hulu that stars Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas, his first feature
The one that
in
they
20
pulled
years.
out of theaters, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the director of Fatal Attraction and A Decent Proposal in 9.5 weeks.
Oh.
His new movie stars called Deep Water. A trailer dropped this morning, or it's actually a little scene.
I haven't seen it
Okay,
yet. I'll have to check
I'm
it
like,
out.
I'm so excited. I mean, I love Adrian Lyne.
I love Ben Affleck. All right, what's next?
Andy, can someone explain what the controversy and the bombardment of the same J.R.R. Tolkien quote in the Rings of Power trailer comment section is all about?
I have no idea what people.
Okay, there is a J.R.R. Tolkien quote about creation that evil cannot create.
Oh,
the way
right.
good
People
can.
misquote that terribly.
Well, they've bombed the Amazon trailer for Rings of Power with that quote.
Yeah, that they completely obviously misunderstand.
In multiple
And
languages,
they don't understand what it
hundreds
means.
and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things.
Oh.
It's
People are bored.
people try to bring their political agendas to stuff all the time. I mean, it is what it is, and it's just bullshit. I ignore it. All right, what's next?
Sam Fisher 104. Theory time. I believe that the Iron Sentries are part of a multiverse Illuminati with characters like Tom Cruise as Tony, Stewart as Charles, and John Krasinski or Ian Grufford? Is that how you say
Grufford,
it?
yeah, from Fantastic Four.
Oh, yes, as Reed Richards.
Oh, I don't think anybody wants to see that.
I also think this would be the place to introduce the recast Black Panther as T'Challa. Is a notable member of the group. And this T'Challa from a different universe gets folded into the main MCU universe. So Black Panther is still T'Challa, but not the same T'Challa as Chadwick Boseman's.
I don't think we're going to see his face. Like,
No.
first of all, nobody's saying Black Panther's going to be. Nobody said that the person in that chair is Black Panther.
But if he is, he can be wearing the mask.
Exactly. See, I personally right now, my theory is it's Black Panther. I could totally change my mind on that later, but I think it's Black Panther. And if it is, they're just going to have the mask on him.
Yeah.
And we're not going to see a face. So they're not recasting anybody or anything.
Exactly. And I think doing a multiverse T'Challa is still kind of dicey because they've been very, very adamant that there's not going to be another T'Challa that
Yeah.
was Chadwick.
Yes. So
It's going to be a different person. Ooh.
we'll see where they go with that. All right, what's next?
Suthius, in the wise words of Gwen Stefani, this shit is bananas. BANANAS. Both the trailer and Super Bowl spot. Loving the look of the Defender Strange.
Yes, but is he dead going through that thing? Is he in this movie and then just dies real fast? I mean, that's what it's implied. I think America is going between all these different multiverses, and they're all getting destroyed, and Doctor Strange and every one of them isn't able to stop it. So I don't know. Again, this is just a lot of theory building on a very small amount of information given to us in the trailer, but we'll see. All right, what's next?
Cutter Hale. Doctor Strange trailer was awesome. Nope looks cool. Marry Me is charming. Death on the Nile was good. Can't wait for Dog and Uncharted this weekend. Bring on the filthy.
I have not yet seen Marry Me. I had no plans to watch it, but Anne has already let me know that we are going to watch it. But then she found out yesterday during Super Bowl, because one of the ads, it's actually already on Peacock. And she's like, okay, we're watching that tomorrow. Like, all right, baby.
A romantic Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I think
Aw.
Ann and I are going to go out to dinner tonight. She got us reservations at a nice Italian place. And then we're going to probably come back and watch Marry Me.
Oh yeah, am I going to be at that dinner in the middle of you guys like this? What are we eating, guys?
You're cooking. I don't know. Did I tell you that?
The
You're cooking.
reservation is here with you.
All right, what's next?
Reggie Phoenix. Strange's spell affected everyone but Pete. Do you think he's aware that what he's arrested for, or do you believe he's messed with the multiverse further? Wait, what?
I'm still not sure.
Sorry.
I'm not. I mean, what it is probably the case. It is probably the case that this is all tied to the events and the spell he cast in No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not 100% positive about that. I think there might be something bigger at play here.
I think you might be right.
And obviously, he's involved. Now, there might when Mordo says to him, "Your desecration of reality cannot go unpunished," that might have something to do with what he does at the beginning of this movie. He might do something at the start of this film. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't know, but we'll have to see.
Or, I mean, all of this could be he's been set up.
Yeah.
Been set up by Kang. Set up by, I mean, you never know. Lots of people out there. We'll see. And maybe Wanda herself. It's
Or
all
Wanda
a big
herself.
Manipulation.
We'll find out. All right, what's next?
Crashing Coyote. Deadpool is hidden in new Doctor Strange 2 poster.
If you mean hidden that we can't see him, then
Yeah,
sure.
he's very well hidden.
All right, what's next?
City of Swift. I found Blacklight to be very cheesy, but passively entertaining. Death on the Nile was intriguing, although the music was distracting at times.
I'll tell you what. This is the thing with all the Liam Neeson. I don't know why I brought that picture up. That's the thing with all the Liam Neeson movies recently. They're all the same movie, but they're exactly what you just said. They're all cheesy, passively entertaining. I mean, that's what they are. I still haven't seen Blacklight. I don't have any plans on going out to the theater to see it. I'll watch it when it comes out on video. But these are all these Liam Neeson movies are exactly the same. The trailers are all the same, but they're all passively entertaining. So that's what they are. All right, what's next?
Galactic Champ. The DS2 trailer was insane with the Illuminati / Patrick Stewart tease. I think that mocap pic you got with Spidey might be of Tom Cruise's Iron Man variant.
I will tell you right now, the mocap pic that I have not been letting the world know what it is. I have shown it to Robert Meyer Burnett. He's seen it. I will tell you this much. It was not for Doctor Strange 2.
Okay.
It was for something else. We now know what it is. Because at first I thought it was also going to be in Spider-Man, because that's when I got the other. It came in the same batch of pictures that I got with the Spider-Man No Way Home stuff. So I assumed that, but then when it wasn't in the movie, we're like, oh my gosh, this is to something else. And I think we now know what it is for. But I will tell you, it is not Doctor Strange 2. That's as much as I'll tell you, but it was not for Doctor Strange 2.
And by the way, I mean, for people that keep asking about this, after seeing this trailer, it'll be anticlimactic if anybody ever knows what it is. It's very cool.
Maybe yes, maybe no. But if it was connected to this movie, I would say yes. But because it's connected to something else, so it depends on how people will react to it. But we must stop talking about it because we're going to give away too much.
do?
No, I
denied
don't.
that pick.
I said I want to know. I feel very left out.
I'll show it to you after the.
I mean, I
I'll
just
show it to you
feel
after
like
the
this movie, to me, I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen a movie that is as bonkers in terms of being part of a franchise and adding all this frothy, heady mix of greatness. I don't think there's ever been a movie quite like this. All I can say is I hope it delivers on its promise, because it's promising a lot.
Yes, the trailer is promising a hell of a lot. All right, what's next?
John Redcorn. Holy crap, that might be the best HT show I've ever seen. Dre still got it. Mary J, heart emoji, and the immortal one, Snoop. Also popped hard, seeing 50 Cent.
I'll tell you what. I was shocked. I watched that halftime show. Listen, my favorite band of all time is U2. My number one all-time favorite band. So that has obviously been my favorite halftime show, especially when they dropped the big curtains from the ceiling. They rolled the victims of 9/11 up. I mean, it was powerful, 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 powerful. Greatest band of all time, blah, blah, blah. That was the best halftime show ever to me. I liked it more than the Tom Petty one. I liked it more than... I just thought it was the best one. I was sitting on my couch bopping and smiling, and Anne was standing during the whole thing. I mean, I just thought, and then when I read online, some people go, oh, I didn't like it. I'm like, what the fuck were you watching? That was awesome. I just don't get it. But anyway, it's all subjective. That's just me.
Look, it was long overdue.
Yeah.
You know, it was long overdue. I would say it did not surpass Prince.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say.
I mean, Prince, who called up the greatest storm ever, like in Miami, he's out there shredding in the rain. He's playing Purple Rain in the rain. on his heels. Come on.
But this set, though.
This was different.
It was different.
And it was
very
long
different,
overdue.
yeah.
Having this kind of hip hop representation at the halftime show was
set
it was
there.
meaningful
In
and it
LA.
Was, and
Yeah.
in
In
LA.
LA.
In
That's
LA.
very important.
It was
Featuring
great.
Pam's Burgers.
I mean, it was great.
I just thought it was freaking awesome. I thought it was great. Okay, anyway, what's next?
Sam Fisher, one of two. Also, I really hope they go with the original comic lineup of Strange, Black Bolt, Charles, Reed, Namor, and Tony. Though, to do my Black Panther idea, I think they would have to swap Black Bolt for him, as two characters who are kings with black in their name might be too confusing for general audiences.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. They ain't doing Black Bolt for nothing.
Yeah, I agree with you.
after the embarrassment of the Inhumans,
Oh, yeah, there's some
they are
stink on
not
that
doing
still.
Black Bolt. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Anson. I love Anson Mount as Black Bolt. I did, but that show is terrible. And they do
Yeah,
not want to
it was
revisit
really
that at all.
It was so disappointing, and I love the Inhumans.
I love Black Bolt.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be that. All right, what's next?
Kylo Ken. Hi, guys. It seems Feige has made a live action episode of What If? Did you think they would go all in on this alternative version for the MCU?
Look, I'm gonna say something, but what I'm about to say is 100% true. We don't know with all confirmation that is who we think it is.
Right.
I mean, it looks like it. I'm assuming it is. I'm going with that assumption too. I believe that's the What If version. I'm just saying we don't know for a fact that it is. That might be something else. Although the common understanding and the one I'm going with it is, but we don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, Kevin Feige's been going bonkers, man.
Bonkers.
Bonker.
Bonkers. I
And
can't
I'm-
wait.
I'm here
Bonkers
for
the
it.
police
I
cat.
just can't believe that I'm as excited 29 or 28 movies in as I am about this movie.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't believe it.
especially, listen, I'll tell you what, and I need a little bit of it because I didn't love Hawkeye. And I liked Loki and I liked Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I didn't love them. I loved WandaVision. So, like, and I love Spider-Man No Way Home. So my experiences with Marvel lately has been a little hit and miss. And I'm not used to being a little hit and miss.
Me neither.
So I need this. I need this. I wanna love
Spider-Man and this.
and Moon Knight.
Bro.
I need these things. I
We
gotta
didn't
love
talk
these
about
things.
Moon Knight, but bro.
We didn't. You know what? Let's save that one for tomorrow. There's so
Okay.
much today, but we'll
Oh
talk about
my
the Moon Knight thing
God.
tomorrow. All right, what's next?
Christopher Brickner, good Super Bowl. Too bad the bad officiating at the end left a bad taste in everyone's mouth and kind of ruined the game. I'm a Bengals fan, FYI.
Well, listen, to be honest and to be fair, they made bad calls on both sides.
Yep.
Like there was that pass interference at the end of the game that was not pass interference. Like there's one that was, but then there was one before that wasn't. And then, but on the Bengals side, they totally missed that face mask on
Exactly.
Ramsey. They totally missed that face mask.
I don't even understand football. And I was like, that's not allowed.
It was like, so it could have gone either way. Honestly, the whole game came down to one play.
Yeah.
It was on the Rams' final drive. They had a 4th and 1. That was the game. If they get Cooper Kupp behind the line of scrimmage, game's done, they win. If he gets the first down, you knew where it was going. And really, amongst everything else, the whole Super Bowl came down to that one. I'm just glad we had a really competitive Super Bowl. Because we get into a lot of Super Bowls where it's just like totally one-sided.
And it wasn't, they were stopped on that one.
Yeah, and
they were stopped there for what, 3 plays?
Yeah.
And
So, I mean, that was the Rams coming in and being like, no.
But Aaron Donald, man.
right.
Woo! What a beast.
And
I'm
both
glad that
sides
was
had
winning.
their chances to maybe get some separation. They didn't.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd, he missed that one catch that was in his hand. He was by himself. You could look at everything, and you could look at all the things they called. It just happened.
It
you know?
happened.
And then you just got to get over it.
But
And
it was
All right,
so- 3
we got to move
plays,
on.
yeah.
We got to move on here. I still got a bunch to go. Okay, what's next?
Another Sam Fisher. I honestly do think Black Bolt will be in this movie because the Inhumans have been MIA from the comics since 2018's Death of the Inhumans, and Black Bolt, and just Black Bolt, was part of the recent Darkhold event Marvel just did.
Again, you're confusing the comics with the movies. That's a big mistake. Do not confuse the comics with the MCU. They are two different things. And again, I don't see them. Hey, listen, if they do, they do. Nothing's impossible. I'm just saying I'm going to be really shocked after the complete humiliation Marvel had and Kevin Feige, who wanted nothing to do with it, if they actually go back to Black Bolt. So I don't think so.
Unless they cast some huge name actor just for fun as Black Bolt. Somebody like, I don't know.
Denzel.
I mean,
Denzel.
It's gotta be
one of the
gotta be-
thrones is Black Bolt.
yeah, it's got to be somebody epic. They don't even. I mean, obviously, they're not going to say a word. So whoever it could be any.
Chris Evans as Black Bolt.
No, you
He's
could
gonna triple dip in another
could
character.
pick,
He's Captain America. He's Black Bolt.
I mean, and what are people going to say?
All right, let's go. What's next?
All right, Casey Mack. A few things I need to touch on today. A bit of news that got lost in this weekend is that Ray Stevenson was cast to be a villain in Ahsoka.
Yes,
Yep.
I look, that was scheduled over the weekend to be one of the topics today. There was just too much other stuff.
Is that the Punisher?
Yes, from Punisher Warzone.
Yes.
And from Rome.
Yes.
Okay.
And he was in a season of Dexter. Was it Dexter? Yes, Dexter. He was.
And wasn't he in Thor? One of the guys.
He was Volstagg.
Yeah,
I believe,
okay,
one of the
okay.
Warriors 3 in
Cool.
that. So yes, he has been cast. Didn't know for sure if it was going to be as a villain, but he's going to be in the Ahsoka show, and I love Ray Stevenson. So that's
Very
cool.
cool.
All right, what's next?
Everyone, just for your edification, it's just cast. You don't need to say casted. Cast is the past tense too. Just so you know. Andy, it would be funny and sad if Marry Me ends up being the best comic book movie of the year. Most perplexing about the film is how J-Lo is 52 years old.
Was this based on a graphic novel?
Yes.
I told you that.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that. Totally
Yeah.
went over my
Yeah,
head. Forget
crazy.
that.
It's
Yep.
Okay, it was in the middle of a Madam Web discussion.
It's no blue is the warmest color, John.
Oh,
But it is based on a graphic novel.
I did not know that. And yeah, Jennifer Lopez being 52 is something multi-dimensional about that. That's just really crazy.
She's in the multiverse.
She is the multiverse. All right, what's next?
All of it.
Galactic Champ can clearly see a goatee on Glow Person in SB Spot.
Glow person?
What's the Glow Person, Champ?
Okay, whatever. What's next?
Sam Fisher, 1 of 3. I am now of the opinion that this is superior Iron Man looking like Captain Marvel because the creator of the comic character, Tom Taylor, said that the suit glows red when Tony's angry. It looks like he and Wanda are fighting in the Illuminati base, and what better reason for Tony to be angry than his high-tech base being infiltrated and attacked?
There's two thoughts that come to my mind. One, that person is, and no, it's not Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch. That glowing person that charges at Wanda and Wanda blocks. Couple of mine. Number one, the most obvious answer is it's Captain Marvel, or a version of Captain Marvel. Perhaps it's the Rambo version of that. So that's one possibility. Another possibility it is that while it is not consistent with the comic books, that's fine. It's a souped up America Chavez. Because remember, America Chavez, besides being able to travel in between the multiverse, she has superhuman strength, reflexes, endurance, and flight. So that could be America Chavez fighting her. Or this could be the misdirect. And in the movie, the person flying at Wanda is not engulfed in flame at all. And they just did that in the trailer to hide who it is. So it could be somebody else entirely.
It's a redirect of Monica.
I don't think it's Iron Man, though. I think, look, if there is going to be an Iron Man cameo, I think it's only going to be in the Illuminati chambers. I don't think we see the Illuminati getting involved in the action of the film, but that's a possibility too. Rob, what do you
Could be
think?
Les Grossman.
I will F you.
And I'm sorry, Iron Man doesn't have a death wish. He doesn't want to be charging at Scarlet Witch.
I mean, he's fighting Thanos.
but
fights
come on.
Thanos.
Oh, well, I don't.
And he would already know Wanda.
Yeah,
That's true.
but I just don't see it being that. But hey, it is definitely one of the possibilities.
You know
All right.
what? Because of Les Grossman, I do believe
Greatest Tom Cruise ever, by
that
the way.
Tom Cruise would, in fact, do a cameo as Tony Stark,
I think he would do it.
as a variant Tony Stark.
Whether or not Kevin Feige wants that, I don't know. But
Yeah.
I mean, all right, what's next?
Cap Avenger 93, that had to have been Iron Man fighting Wanda.
We just got. I don't think it is, but it's definitely a possibility. All right, what's next?
Mike Joyce really enjoyed the commercials this year, surprisingly more than the game.
I like the game. The game, good tight game, but I'll tell you what, the commercials were really on point this year.
They won.
Really, really good job
Capitalism
with the
won.
Did you
Yeah.
guys notice that Doctor Strange took that #1 spot? It was from the time the game started. It was the very first thing that came up when they went to commercial. So they paid for the prime spot. Isn't that the prime spot to be the first?
No, I know.
But
I would
they did spend money.
probably coming out of
Yeah.
halftime is probably the number one spot because then you have more people. The viewership grows over the thing. But I have no idea. I didn't even notice when it happened.
I didn't think anyone would spend money to actually put their trailer up. That's why I'm so
Yeah.
surprised at how many trailers
I knew
we
Doctor
got.
Strange would be. We knew Doctor Strange.
okay.
I'm surprised Top Gun didn't. Although there
that's
was
what-
a commercial.
Top Gun's the one I was
There was a
waiting for.
Top Gun one. There was a commercial of Top Gun combined with a car commercial and
Yeah, I
something
saw
like
that
that.
one. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of Top Gun.
Oh, you know what? How about the Jamie Lynn Sigler ad for, was it the Chevrolet where they did the opening of The Sopranos?
Oh yeah.
And, you know, and the brother too.
Yeah,
at the end of
that
that
was pretty good.
because that music, the music for The Sopranos is so iconic. As soon as I heard it, because I was grabbing something in the kitchen, getting more food, and I hear the instantly my head turns. Like
That was
Like
really
Sonic the
fun.
Hedgehog.
And they had the Satrial sign and the whole. It was
Yeah,
great.
That was a really good
That was
concept
good.
too. That was a good concept too. All right, what's next?
John Redcorn, over under 20% Venom or Mobius appears in Doctor Strange.
I'm going to go under 20%. I'm not going to say it's a total impossibility, but they've got other things to do.
Yeah, I
They're
think so, too.
already throwing the kitchen sink at this. All right, what's next?
Brandon Blake, do you think casual MCU fans are going to have a difficult time following these increasingly complex multiverse-driven plot lines?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. They are going to start. I talked about this during the Loki series. They are at risk, okay? Not definites, risk. They are at risk of alienating casual fans. When the Loki stuff started coming out, you guys who watch the show, you saw the message we were getting from some people saying, I'm out. I don't understand what's going on here. Like, this is just, because one of the things Kevin Feige has always done with his MCU is made it so accessible. So accessible.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you can't do this and succeed. You can. And if somebody can do it, it's Kevin Feige. But you are running the risk that the more casual fans are going to look at this and go, I have no idea what's happening here, and I'm out. And again, don't pretend like that's not happening.
Yeah.
We had people writing in during Loki saying, I'm checking out because I don't understand what's going on here. So they got to be, it's great to go for it, but when you take risks, there's a possibility of failure. So I hope they're able to crush it and keep it accessible for the average fans and not make it lose them, because there is a little bit of a risk of that happening.
Yeah, but
But
I
the
love
bigger
being
you
able to
swing-
explain things to people.
Yeah.
My little actress friend Mia will be like, Chris, I don't understand this plot line from WandaVision. I really like the show. I'm like, oh my God, this is my moment. My knowledge finally pays off. Yes.
Let me tell you everything about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, whenever you swing big, you can miss. And they are swinging big, man. Feige is swinging big, and that's
It's
what I
been
love to see.
Agatha all along.
It's been Agatha all along. All right, what's next?
Sam Fisher, small unimportant detail, but why does the cloak have a blue patch now? Did it get slashed at some point? Maybe in No Way Home? I don't remember.
It definitely got damaged in No Way Home, and it also got damaged. Well, the cloak has been damaged several times. Actually, it's been ripped and things like that. So maybe it's probably just a cosmetic thing. But that's possible. All right, what's next?
Casey Mack, it was interesting to see some of the Ultron bots leading Doctor Strange. I guess in this universe, there is a point where Tony's idea of a suit of armor around the world could have worked.
Maybe, or this Illuminati chamber is literally outside of time.
Right.
Sits in a pocket thing outside of time.
It could be a
You know.
multiverse Illuminati group
Yeah.
where all the different Illuminatis are various people from different universes.
It's like a council. What is that thing they say in Rick and Morty? A council of
The
Ricks?
Council of Ricks?
Like that. Maybe this
Yeah.
is like a council of Ricks. And the quantum, maybe it's in the quantum realm, because the quantum realm itself sits outside of time and everything like that. So that's why
And we've
Ant-Man
seen
was protected.
numerous Loki variants in Loki, so it doesn't,
Yeah, so
it's
that's
not
all
out of the realm
possible.
of possibility.
All right, what's next?
Suthius, freeze framing 1,000 times. I think it's Superior Iron Man, not Captain Marvel. Seems to be male with goatee mustache and metal suit with signature helmet.
Again, I'm not going to buy into anything. They left that so ambiguous, I think purposefully ambiguous. So, and they clearly purposefully let us not have a very good, clear shot of it.
I
But
just want you to know, if that is Superior Iron Man, that's $400.
that's a $400
Hot
toy
toy
right
with the
there.
Tom Cruise head sculpt. Click. First day, click.
Bought.
Cart.
Pre-order.
All right, what's next?
This is for Rob. Matt, thoughts on new Moon Knight spot? The new clips we got of him were great. Also, we might see Jackman in Strange.
First, him catching that blade coming down from the moon.
The,
that shot was
the
so
crescent
good.
dart. Dude, it was the unfurling of the cape above the Louvre that I was like, in the classic Moon Knight form. I lost my shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not going to lie. It's only 30 seconds.
All right, let's keep going here. What's next?
Al Renshaw, I lost it and watched like 8 or 9 reaction videos after the Doctor Strange trailer. I can't believe they brought in Patrick Stewart as Professor X.
I mean, it's so awesome, and you know, that's what Ray does. Ray, when he sees a trailer, he immediately goes and watches all the trailer reactors and watches them. But he probably didn't do that with Doctor Strange because he didn't even realize there was a full trailer online.
It's crazy.
I'm just waiting right now.
He's going to do that next. All right, what's next?
Sam Fisher, Rob, how do we know the Moon Knight in the new Jonathan Hickman book isn't Duke Leto Atreides?
Atreides from Dune.
Well, apparently, it does take place 6,000 years in the future. So it could, I mean, the Dune adaptation was drawn by Bill Sienkiewicz, who did draw Moon Knight that I love for Marvel Comics. So you
connections
just
all there.
never know.
All right, what's next?
Russell Amador, last week sounding crazy when I said expect a big cameo in Doctor Strange footage. Well, here we are. Who's laughing now? Ash Williams' voice before cuts off hand. Shout out Sam Raimi.
But they didn't actually show anybody.
Right.
But we all know they did.
Yeah.
We all know they did. Listen, if you had asked me before it, look, I think it's fair to ask anybody. If you asked me beforehand, what do you think the chances are that Patrick Stewart as Professor X shows up? I would have said, well, it's not impossible, but nah.
Yeah.
Now, I would be really surprised at that. I can't see them doing that. Well, here we are.
Here we are.
I told everybody for years. I've told everybody
Dude.
Patrick Stewart's not bringing up that story just to let you know I'm not going to be there. I knew he was going to pop up at some point.
Dude, come on.
I told everyone there's going to be a Doctor Strange 2.
There's all right. What's next?
JR, 100% Patrick Stewart, 100% Illuminati behind him.
Not 100% that it's Illuminati, but I think that's the safe operating assumption
Yeah.
here. It's definitely Patrick Stewart, though, no doubt. Jr. All right, what's next?
Josie Reviews, best Valentine's Day movie recommendation, Crazy Stupid Love, totally underrated and surprisingly charming.
Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling, Marissa
Carell.
Tomei, Steve Carell,
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore. It is truly one of the more wonderful, delightful movies you can watch. I'm not a big fan of the big end. It's a very cliche big end, but it doesn't matter. The movie as a whole is absolutely wonderful. If you have not seen this film, absolutely must go and watch it. It's Crazy Stupid Love, absolutely fantastic film. All right, what's next?
Mighty Tank 1. Guys, that's not Professor X. It's Ralph Boner's uncle, Mike Hawk. LOL, bonkers trailer.
And it's called the Boner wheelchair. The Boner chair is what he rolls around in. It's absolutely crazy thing, Mighty Tank 1. All right, what's next?
Dante, hey John, I'm getting married on Friday. Congrats!
Woo!
Wanted to say thank you for all your amazing content. You've easily become my favorite YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you, man.
I wanted to ask, what level of stage are you and your wife on What It Takes Two? It Takes Two. Thank you. We
video
started on Sunday and love it. Bring on the filthy.
First of all, I just want to point out that Dante sent in like a $50 super chat. Thank you, man, for supporting us on that level. And dude, congratulations on your upcoming nuptials. I hope you guys have a wonderful, perfect day for you guys. That is exciting to hear. As far as It Takes Two, Ann and I finished the game.
Oh,
Yep. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we finished the game and it ends with on the screen saying, "It took two."
Oh my.
It took two. I loved this game. Again, I never even heard of the game until we sat down to watch the Video Game Awards, and it won Game of the Year. And we're like, I never even heard of this game. So, and I said, well, let's download it. And we download it, and you got to play it with 2 people. And we played and finished the game a little while ago, actually. And I love it. Cannot recommend it highly enough. The cool thing about It Takes Two is that if you have the game, you can play it with somebody else, and they don't need to have the game.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, I mean, they need
Okay.
to have a PS,
Yeah.
a PlayStation, but they don't have to have the game. You just invite them to, as long as you have the game, they can play with you remotely as the other player.
We
It's
have to
great. Go
finish
check it
it.
out. And I hope you and your upcoming partner, your spouse, are able to really play it, enjoy it, and love it as well. And again, thanks a lot, Dante, for supporting us on that level. And congrats on the upcoming marriage, man. That's exciting. All right, what's next?
Suthius, so this movie shows both multiverse and variants?
See, that's the thing. We were talking about this beforehand. The MCU, there is not one thing. Because remember, if you go back to Doctor Strange, the Ancient One was referencing other realities and other dimensions before there was ever Loki or or that kind of stuff, right? So I honestly think variants and the multiverse that Loki was talking about is a different and separate thing from other realities and stuff like that they've been talking about in the MCU for a long time. How they're going to reconcile that, I don't know, but that might have been what they were kind of hinting at. All right, what's next?
Reppy Guy 1125. Hey John, tech question for you.
Great.
What type of Mac computer do you use, and what internet speeds are good for uploading videos? Thanks.
Well, for me, I have right now my main desktop PC is a PC. My laptop, though, that I work on every day is a Mac. So I have the M1 MacBook Air. That's the one I'm using right now. It is crazy powerful. The bang for the buck on that computer is absolutely nuts. I also use my 12.9-inch MacBook M1 Pro and my iPhone. But my main desktop is a PC. Look, the more speed you can have, the better. I mean, if you're trying to upload videos, like 5K upload ain't going to do it. You probably want to look minimum 10, 15, 20. If you can get that, great. If you have gigabit Ethernet, even better. But the higher you can get, the absolute better, because that uploading videos can take some time. All right, what's next?
Sam Fisher. I know it's low priority, John, but did you see the new teaser for the Letterkenny spinoff show, Shoresy? They showed his face, and it's Jared Keeso with the beard.
I have not. I heard about it, but I have not seen this teaser. Have you?
No, but man, you turned me on to Letterkenny.
I love Letterkenny.
Letterkenny is... I love Letterkenny.
Yeah, like between Letterkenny, Kim's Convenience, and Schitt's Creek, which might be the best comedy show of all time.
Yep.
At any rate, the Canada market, man, Canada never killed it like this on TV when I was still living there. It's only the last couple of years they've
Your
been
cousins
absolutely
are crushing
crushing
it. They're doing great.
All right, next. What's next?
Sidious Swift. I just realized yesterday that The Sorcerer's Stone was the first movie I ever watched in theaters.
Oh, wow.
At the Chinese in Hollywood.
Oh
Ooh.
my God,
Wow.
that is something. You ruined yourself.
Yeah.
Like, your first movie experience is in the Chinese.
And it just made
Wow.
me realize how old I really am. So thank
I
you
was
for
gonna
that.
say, I was like, wow, I feel old.
Oh, that is a great first experience, though. All right, what's next?
Casey Mack. Also, if this movie can reveal Patrick Stewart in this trailer, it makes you wonder what other crazy cameos this movie can have.
Well, the one thing we've been saying this for a while that we don't want them to do is just go batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
look, cameo here and cameo there and cameo there, because then it's not good movie making. You're just doing cheap pops.
Well, with the characters. I mean, if they're establishing the Illuminati and having him there, that's really, it's not just him walking on.
if you're
going,
establishing it.
yeah.
Like if it's just like some rando, oh look, it's this guy, it's this, do, and then he's gone, then that's just bad filmmaking. Anybody
Now
can do
that whatever cameos are in this movie, I'm just going to hear your voice.
Just going,
Every time someone shows up, it's going to be in my mind.
But again, like I said, any 4-year-old can go, okay, and then have Superman be there, and then have Wonder Woman be, like any 4-year-old can do that. That's not good filmmaking. Make it applicable and work to the story, and it could be really, really
I
cool.
think that 4-year-old needs to see a dentist because there's a kind of a problem right there.
That's me. All right, what's next?
Fet's Hand 55. Just finished Reacher. It was great. Why couldn't Boba Fett be like that? Smart and brutal.
Well, look, every show tries to do it. They tried to make Boba Fett great. Everybody tried. Look, they did. Look, these guys know how to do it. They made Mandalorian season 1 and 2. They know how to do it. They just had an idea. They decided to approach the character a certain way, and that certain way just didn't work. But yeah, Reacher was really good. All right, what's next?
Sam Fisher. Didn't everyone hate the idea of fan favorite a couple of years ago? Why do it again if there's no change in that sentiment? Or at least seems to be?
Again, there is a fundamental difference between creating an Oscar category of best popular movie that you actually are taking seriously and are awarding an Academy Award to, we're putting up a Twitter poll and we'll just announce whoever, and you're not making it a category, you're not making it an award. That's more harmless. So I don't really, there's a big, big difference between those two things. All right, what's next?
Andy, if Steven Soderbergh wants superheroes to smash, he can watch the porn parodies. There's even a Star Wars one with Oscar-worthy acting from RMB.
Listen, I like, and it's true. What? I love Steven Soderbergh. I do. I don't know what he was going on about. It's like that.
It was a bad day.
It was-
He's just having a bad day where his emotions let out of his mouth. too much.
It didn't make much sense to me.
No.
All right, what's next?
Chris Persinas, that Doctor Strange trailer was everything I needed.
It's so good. Like I'm still just sitting here. We've already gushed about it, and I still can't get over how damn good that trailer is.
Yeah.
Everything in it. Yeah, okay. I've already said enough about it, I guess, Chris. But I'm stumbling over my words here. Just thinking about how damn good this trailer was. All right, what's next?
James Boner, still in shock over Ivan Reitman.
Shock is a great thing for it. Again, the dude was just 75. I just saw him a couple of months ago. Great health on stage, playing to the audience and owning the crowd. He's just such an icon, and he still had so many good years of filmmaking left in him. And just really, really ashamed to hear it. So I agree with you, James. Well said, man. All right, what's next?
Casey Mack. One last thing. I was wondering for your movie club if there's a chance of talking about Seven and maybe even The Sixth Sense.
Those are possibilities moving forward. Those could be films. Remember, we're going to try to do, first of all, we're going to do our second one tomorrow, which is Iron Man 1. So guys, get ready for movie club tomorrow. Iron Man 1 is our movie club tomorrow. So go do your homework on it. Come ready to talk about Iron Man 1 on tomorrow's movie club. But yeah, if we don't cancel the show, we'll see if people watch it.
Cancel the show,
We gotta make sure
John.
people watch it. If people don't watch it, we're not going to do it anymore. But a lot of you guys watched the first episode. So yeah, then eventually 7 movies like that could absolutely be on the radar. All right, what's next?
Galactic Champ again. 6 chairs. Reed, Tony, Mordo, Charles Strange. Last one.
I'm going Black Panther.
Yeah.
I'm going Black Panther. I think it's going to be Black Panther, and just like you said, Rob, mask doesn't come off, and it's the Black Panther. So, but we'll find out if we're right or wrong about that. We'll see. All right, what's
Probably
next?
is, but I want Namor. Chance, who sent in 99.99. Woo! Chance,
Wow.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Damn, the Bengals almost had it right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's okay. You know what? We got some seasons to have some fun with the next
Dude,
couple
your
of years.
team did what no other team in the NFL did
Yeah,
except
I'm
for the
not-
Rams. They got to the Super Bowl.
I didn't think I thought it would be as more hurt than like I actually ended up being. I just looked at it as I never thought this would happen.
No.
Not even close.
Neither did I.
And I'm just gonna appreciate whatever this period will be with Burrow. And that's it.
And it was a
Joe
great
Burrow.
game.
It was
a
game.
great football
Really, really
game.
great
Both
game.
teams battled
Yeah.
like the warriors they are. It was not a blowout. Everyone's got to be proud.
And Chance, dude, seriously, so generous. Thank you for supporting our channel
thank
on that
you.
level, man. That's incredibly great. It's always amazing that all of you guys support the content you like watching. So thank you so much for that. Very, very much. And yeah, they almost had it, dude. They almost had it. All right, what's next? Andy
again. Nice to know that Futurama is being revived. At this point, Futurama is like Sam and Dean Winchester. They keep dying and coming back.
They keep coming back. I'm not going to lie. I've said this before. I'm not. Futurama was very hit and miss to me. Like they would have an episode that I would laugh my ass off, then 2 or 3 episodes, I'd be like, eh. And then they do another one, like especially the ones with Zap Brannigan. I loved everything they would ever do as Captain Zap Brannigan. We were fighting the kill bots, but then I realized that they had a predetermined kill limit. So I sent wave after wave of my own men until they reached their kill limit. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. All right, what's next?
I'm in. The Oscar host will be revealed tomorrow on GMA. They just were. There will be 3. Any guesses? It's unlikely, but maybe a few Spider-Men.
I'll tell you what.
That'd have been nice.
I never would have guessed the 3 they came up with.
No.
And again, I'll keep my fingers crossed that this will be the greatest Oscar show of all time. I'm not feeling the picks. But then again, maybe I wouldn't have felt anybody other than Tom Holland, Billy Crystal. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, but
Steve Martin Short.
yeah, I these guys do not scream Oscar host to me.
If it was Steve Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, that would have been so fun.
Oh, that would have been
that would
good.
have been a
been
great
fun.
trio.
That would have been a great trio.
coulda,
All
woulda, coulda.
right, what's next?
Condiment King. Did you hear Sony's making a Jack and Daxter movie?
Yes.
What's Jack and Daxter?
It's
Video game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a video game.
Oh, wait a minute. They tried to get that going like 5 years ago.
They've got it going again.
I didn't know they were really trying to get that going again.
I thought an animated film came out of that. Like I thought it did release.
I don't remember that.
I'll have
Not
to look
sure.
it
You
up.
might be right. I don't remember it though. All right, what's next?
Now we just have a whole bunch of support from everybody. S. Beam sending in 10, Mike Hill sending in 407, Richard Lloyd $2, Peter Cunnington 78 cents, Steve D $10, and Parth Trividi $19.99. Thank
Guys,
you so much.
thank you. So all these guys just sending in super chats just to be
Yeah.
supportive. Not even having, guys, thank you so much for that. And guys, that'll do it for today's installment of the John Campea Show. Thank you so much for being here and making this show part of your day. Big special thanks to all you guys who sent in those super chats. Number 1, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. But number 2, you supported this channel as you did it. And all of us involved with the John Campea Show, thank you very much for your support. Don't forget, guys, if you'd like to send in a comment or question but don't watch the show live, you can send in a comment or question using the tip link below. Click on that there and send it in to be read on a mailbag episode. And we've got a mailbag episode coming a little bit later today. Anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody sitting in the room with me. Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. Robert, where can people find you?
John, you can find me just in my room dreaming of seeing this movie, Doctor Strange.
I thought you were going to say marry me.
Oh, no. Anyway, find me on Twitter, Burnett RM. Find me on Instagram, Robert Meyer Burnett or RMB, whatever I'm on Instagram, or my own YouTube channel, The Burnett Work.
Over here, we've got Chris Carr. Chris, where can people find you?
You can find me at actor Chris Carr on Twitter and Instagram. And happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
And right beside them, Chef Pleasures, Ray Ora.
Yep.
Ray, where can people find
Valentine's Day. Ray with a 0. Ray Ora with a 0. Sorry.
Ray Ora with a 0. And of course, you guys can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. By the way, I'm at 99.9 thousand followers on Twitter.
Wow.
We're just 100 away.
I'll create more accounts, John. I'll be on it right away.
6 more accounts. 100 away from hitting 100. I don't know what happens if you hit 100,000 followers on Twitter. I have no
Nothing.
idea. Do you get a tax break or
no?
No, nothing. Okay, whatever. 100 away. So go follow me on Twitter. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for us for now. Thanks a lot for being here. My name's John Campea, and until next time, my friends, bye-bye.